Hi, and hello, and welcome to. Yeah, my mic's picking. Okay, good. Not mute. Welcome to a new episode of Weebs Talk About. Also, I'm very sorry. I noticed that the last couple times, every time we ended stream, that the chat box is still not doing the chat box thing that it should do, so you cannot actually read what's happening. Sorry for that, by the way. We'll fix that in the near future. But for now, hi Blood, hi Eden, hi everyone that is watching on Twitch or YouTube. Today's talk show is about TTRPGs. If you're maybe a long-time fan of this channel, you'll be like, wait a second, Maho, didn't you do that already? And I say to that, maybe. I did a Dungeon and Dragon one. And this time, we want to focus about all the other systems we haven't covered in that one. And with that...
Except for Pathfinder.
You're gonna have to fight me on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say that we're gonna have words.
I didn't forget you guys, by the way. Let me have my intro here, okay? Let me introduce to you the beautiful guests I gathered amongst my friends and other people I may or may not have blackmailed into showing up today. We have Sunny.
Hi, we are Sunny.
We also got granted with the presence of Easy again.
Hello, everybody. My name is Easy Mode Start.
Then, out of the depths of darkness, Octavia granted us with her presence today.
Greetings, I have emerged from the void to bring you chaos.
And someone that applied so fast that it didn't even took 10 minutes that the application was out, Mitch.
You put your own path in the forest, and at the end of the path is a cabin. In the cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. Yes, hello, I am Mitch. I am the local part-time game master, part-time absolute menace.
And, of course, we cannot forget the actual princess in this room, Amy, my dear co-host. Best co-host of today.
In more ways than one.
Slay the princess reference. I still have to play this game at some point. The only problem is, I got bothered today by one of my close friends why I haven't played Persona 5 yet. I'm like, yeah, I have a bunch of games I haven't played yet. That's the downside of having a collab almost every day. You cannot really play games anymore that you want. So, let's get started with this. I highly recommend for you guys, if you hear about a system today that you haven't played yet, look into it. TTRPGs are way more than just D&D. And I have a bunch of fanboys, girls, and everything in between that will convince you, hopefully, today, that there are other options. I will not say if they're better, but at least there are other options. So, let me scroll down to my own questions. So, question number 1. What other TTRPGs do you know or have played before? And we start with Mitch.
Yes, indeed. I have played, I have heard of basically all of them in like the Western Hemisphere, I think. We have, Pathfinder, Dragonbane, New Excavation, Mutant, all of the Lord of the Rings ones. Yeah, I have heard of, most of them.
And played?
Oh, sorry, the other half. I have played Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, a bit of the World of Darkness, and Rapid Glory, the Warhammer 40k one. I have tried Dragonbane, it's really fun. I have also tried
Okay.
I'm gonna stop there.
By the way, if the word Pathfinder, you will hear that today a lot. And 90% of the time, Mitch will say it. Don't worry about it, just accept it.
Well, don't worry, I'll be here too.
Yeah, me too. I know.
I'm in danger.
No, you're not.
Okay. Octavia, what TTRPGs do you know or have played or both?
Obviously the standard, D&D 5e. I have played for D&D at least 3.5 onward. Yes, I did play 4. We don't talk about it. I've also played Pathfinder, both 1, 2, and 2 remaster. And I've heard of Godbound, which is where you play as, a god. And there's another one where you play as like monsters. I think it's like Big Body Little Mouth or something like that. I forget what it's called. I'd have to double check the name on that one though.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Easy. What have you played or know about?
So, in terms of tabletop role-playing games, Pathfinder, of course, is probably my most like played system. I've played that ever since first edition. But in terms of games that I know about, I've known about Call of Cthulhu, Liminal Horror, Troika. One that I've been recently looking into has been 13th Age. Tavern Tales. I'm trying to go through like my whole list of tabletop role-playing games that I've like looked into. But there's so many out there, and all with different kinds of rules and different kinds of setups to it. As for ones that I've actually played, Pathfinder, I am a forever GM for Pathfinder, but I have also played 7 Seas, I think is one of the games I've played before. I think that's the name of it. Hold on, look that up real fast. It's actually a fun little, it's 7 Sea. 7 Sea is the name of it. I've also played in Savage Worlds. I've played Rifts. I've played Call of Cthulhu. I've played Tavern Tales was one that I mentioned earlier, which is a really rules light system. Which rules light systems are pretty great. I played D&D, of course, all the way from 3rd edition onward. I have technically looked at 2nd edition D&D. I do not wish to play 2nd edition D&D ever, if I can possibly prevent it.
D&D is an experience.
It is definitely an experience, and as someone who's played the first Baldur's Gate, I'll leave it at the first Baldur's Gate and just kind of go, you know what? That was an experience. I don't wish to do that again. But yeah, those are some of the main ones that I can currently think of. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's like a standout.
Don't worry, we have more questions to discuss what you know. It was just like in general, like which one you know, like you're fluent in. Sunny, come on, like you're the reason why my list will be so long. Tell us.
I got the Pathfinders, the different D&D editions. We got Starfinder, Warhammer. We have Dark Heresy, all the Warhammer ones. Rogue Trader was pretty fun. We have, of course, my favorite, Master of the Week. Where are we on YouTube? Are we past 10 minutes?
Yeah, we should be.
One of my the Dark Heresy series. Big Mother Beepin' Crab Truckers. That's a fun party. That's a fun party game if you ever want to play it.
I'm sorry, run that one by me again.
You can say it uncensored, don't worry.
Alright, big motherfucking crab truckers.
You will have to
sounds
explain
like a
that.
game.
You have to explain that later.
I will. I know all the because I watch Alpha Boosie, I know all the Worlds of Darkness campaigns.
I had a big. I'm sorry. I had a big reaction at that name. I love you, Sonny.
What? The crab truckers?
Yeah, Alpha Busa. I also watch him a lot. I did not
Yeah.
mean to interrupt, but I just had to.
No.
Good.
It's always good to find a fellow Alpha Booster fan.
I am sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
It's fine.
pussy enjoyers unite.
Return now. Thank you. Welcome to the chat and pretty system for anime campaigns sounds great.
For what I am looking. I've been seeing a lot of Ultima lately, so I'm looking into that. Of course, Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I think that's the
Yeah,
majority.
plus the-
That's the majority
Yeah.
at least played with me
yes.
in it. By the way, sorry. Like if Sunny has played something, I'm usually bother him with my presence.
There is like I have a friend back in the day who was making his own system, so I played that. Mutants and Masterminds. The Marvel game was kind of fun. Call of Cthulhu, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a big list.
Yeah, like, and then there's also blue. What was the blue one called? The Smexy one that you at least sent me the rulebook
Book
for.
of Blue Magic.
Yeah, Book of Blue.
Remember, chat. If anybody ever tells you that D&D is the only tabletop role-playing game, tell them about big. What is it? Big
Motherfucking
motherfucking
truck something.
Crab truckers?
crab truckers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like,
Big
no,
motherfucking crab
D&D's
truckers.
just the mainstream one. They don't have the balls to license big motherfucking crab truckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
I would like to see Hasbro acquire those rights and try to ruin it.
Oh, and BattleTech.
Oh, Battletech.
Okay, Sunny, I have a very important question. Since when are you like playing TTRPGs, or like since when are you DMing? That's like this is a very long list, and I've do that for Amy. Since when am I playing with you? 3 years.
About 3 years you've been in the main campaign, yeah.
I'm playing for 3 years, and you name things that I never even heard of.
I do believe my official first ever TTRPG was the World of Warcraft TTRPG, and I played it in, I think, freshman year of high school.
Oh god, you were baby.
That didn't answer the question. Nobody knows how old you are.
Yeah, and that way, we'll keep it that way.
We're talking 5 years, 10 years, 427 years.
Oh, of
I
course.
would say
I'm going to say at least 20.
Damn, that's impressive. Okay, Amy, what systems did you play and know? You will name now. Oh, Sonny, sorry, Sonny. You have more?
Okay, yeah, one last thing. Yeah, it's basically we've been playing since the right after D&D was considered the work of the devil. That's how long we've been playing.
Satanic panic.
That's-
Let's go.
Ooh. You know, I like you already. I like you more.
Everyone should like Sonny. Sonny is peak.
More question, Sonny. This is a bit unrelated. Like, are you from Scandinavia?
No.
I feel we have so much in common. We must be related somehow.
Nah. Sonny lives in space, but when Sonny's not in space, he sometimes wanders around Texas.
Ah, fair enough.
At least it was the last time he was seen.
Sonny and
Yeah, Roswell gives me too many.
listen, Sonny and and easy. And my games are open because these two, and Maho and Amy are getting really tired of my yapping right now, I feel.
Yeah,
But for
Mi-
us,
Mi-
I feel
Mitch-
we can yap forever.
No,
Sorry, Copy. I think you just got fired.
Mitch is always looking for new people he can yap to about things he likes. Like slowly but surely, he told everything he wants to yap about to me and Amy and like people that in the circle. So he needs a bigger circle to yap with people about things like Pathfinder because I cannot hear it anymore.
I mean, I'm always down to talk about Pathfinder or any other tabletop role-playing game because
Oh, me too. But
Me-
I'm finally done with listening to the rule set of 20 times in a row.
Okay, the reason
all right, first
why-
edition or second edition?
Okay.
Second edition.
This is this. All right, Maho. For all the points, answer this question: what are the rules of grapple?
Yeah, we haven't used that one.
Let's say first edition, second edition, or are we talking playtest rules?
That's a trick
second
question. If
edition.
you understand the rules of grapple, you are no longer allowed to DM anything. The correct answer is, I don't know, our table homebrews it.
Talking about homebrewing, Amy, how about you telling us a little bit about the TTRPG systems you know and played?
So the main system I run is D&D, but since we've already done a talk show on that, I'll try and keep the D&D chat to a minimum. We also, back when Wizards of the Coast, or rather should I say, Hasbro, started to act a bit suspicious. We literally put our campaign on hold for about 4 months while we just tried basically every other system we could get our hands on. So during that period, we ran quite a few. I played one of the Warhammer systems that Mitch ran. I am a big fan of the Fate system. Like, absolute. Like, if I can get anyone to play Fate with me, then I am a happy camper.
Yeah, we should probably get back to that little game idea we had.
We're coming back to that,
Yeah,
okay?
definitely.
Probably every
I-
Sunday that we don't have this talk show, maybe.
Yeah, that was the initial idea. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, this time I won't go on a 6-month, depressive bender. But
Amy, I'm curious. Have you been able to look into Tales of the Valiant or 5th edition Advanced yet?
what D&D?
Or Fate.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's like a system called 5th edition Advanced, which is like an expansion on the 5th rules.
Oh,
and then there's...
that thing. We are avoiding that like the
Yeah.
plague.
Fair enough.
We're
Fair
trying
enough.
where we
There's-
can to avoid D&D 1 or D&D 2
No,
or D&D
no, it's-
2025 or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Oh no,
We
not
should-
not
we should
the
all-
not the not the 2024 rules. I do apologize. No, there was a system made by some people who basically expanded the 5th edition rules, and then there was also Tales of the Valiant, which is, I think it's Kobold Press's version of 5th edition.
Yeah, we were going to look into the Kobold press version that they were going to drop, but like by the time that actually released, we were back into D&D, so I
Well,
never
we-
actually got around to trying that one out.
Well, we
But I'm
have
a
the
big
Emelian
fan of
Institute.
Kobold Press's stuff.
We have the Emelian Institute, so maybe that's maybe that will take over.
Possibly. I'm still like trying to decide what we're gonna go into. I think at the very least, if Starfinder 2E drops before our campaign ends, I will at least trial out Starfinder 2E.
It drops
I'm
in May.
so excited.
Mostly, Starfinder should come out, don't quote me on this, around June this year.
Ooh.
All right. If they make Starfinder 2 and they don't make the Psychic Bear again, I'm going to be absolutely disappointed.
Because it's sad. But I would imagine they're doing the Pathfinder thing where they do Starfinder 2E and then they do like the expansions one by one.
As long
They announced.
if Path Builder has a Starfinder a 2E expansion, then I will play Starfinder. I will not meddle with any other websites.
Okay.
I'm done with like making character sheets on dubious websites.
I have been sorry,
Okay.
but I have been play testing Pathfinder 2nd edition on Foundry, and it's been a lot of fun.
Also, according to Python, I can't vouch for Pathfinder, but according to Python, Starfinder 2E and Pathfinder 2E will be 1-to-1 compatible.
That's correct. Yeah. According to what they've said, if you play Pathfinder 2E, you will basically be able to move into Starfinder 2E because there will be literally the same rules. The only minor differences.
However, I cannot vouch that the people who do Pathfinder will also just add all of the.
They can just make they could just make a Star Builder a second app. I would get the second app too.
Okay, in that case, yes. So they've done that with the Starfinder First Edition. So that is
They have?
possible.
And you haven't told me. Do you know what a pain in the butt it was to play Starfinder First Edition?
I know. The thing is, you have to pay for it, I think.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I've already paid for Path Builder. I will pay for Path Builder and Star Builder together. Like that app I use so often, it's not even funny.
Here's a fun fact. In order for me to get my group to play Pathfinder, I said, okay, I'm going to pay for the Pathfinder app. Now, that's not a big deal. And then everybody turned up because I was giving them free shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I was there before you offered the free shit, okay?
Okay.
Also, this is very tangent-y. We should move back to Amy because she was not done.
I apologize, Amy. I think it was me that started it.
Okay.
Yes.
These questions are here as a jumping off point. I don't matter. I don't matter.
Yeah.
I don't matter.
You
I don't
matter.
Mind if people interrupt me.
Look, Ron and Will say we have just 10 bonus because you do matter. Know yourself.
Okay. You know what? I'm a DM. I've got dice in a drawer, literally right in front of me.
I have dice next to me.
Stop knowing yourself right now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Did you roll nat 20?
Of
Did you
course I rolled a nat 20.
Yes! Nat 20 in self-love. Get love, bitch.
I know from me and Maho had the exact same starting reaction. And then the exact opposite, like, numbers.
Oh yeah, this reaction I heard from Amy definitely sounded like a nat 20. Yeah.
I thought it was a nat 1.
I know. I know the moans and groans Amy does for certain emotional reactions.
I apologize for being needed, but Amy, please go on.
I've already forgot where I was. I think I was raving about Fates.
Yeah,
I was raving about Fate. Like Fate is my baby system. I would absolutely love to run that for more people. Unfortunately, as Sonny pointed out, the last time I got a group together to run it, I immediately spiraled into a depressive episode. But next time, guys, next time will be the time.
Yeah, I want to play Nia again. We need to play a magic bullshit girl. Like she's my spirit animal. You have to bring it back.
Yeah, like adore Fate because I'm more of a storytelling DM, and Fate is the system that is just like, hey, like you want rules? Fine, think of some rules. Here you go.
So tell us what else did you play? You played more. I know you played more. I was there.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Call of Cthulhu. I think that was like one of the more fun side campaigns I've run.
It was evil and chaotic. I loved it. You did great.
Yeah, that was about as close as we've got so far to an evil campaign. And I didn't even need them to fail sanity rolls. They came in pre insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Eleanor Wilson, the couple that tries to kill each other every second.
Honestly, Maho, it is amazing that we two make such good characters together. Anyway, sorry for interrupting. Have you noticed my Greek curse yet?
Yeah, he has the yappy curse. He cannot shut up for even if his life depends on it. Okay.
Yeah, probably get me.
Well, it was a bad time to eat chocolate. Yeah, the other one I really want to run is D&D 4e. Because like I used to listen to TTRPG podcasts like back before I had any friends I could play TTRPGs with. So my first 2 years of TTRPG experience were just listening to other people play. And the first one I listened to was D&D 4e because it was before 5e was dropped. And because that was my first experience, I've always wanted to go back and run 4e. I know it's awful to run.
Okay, I actually have a thing for that. Amy, the biggest reason why it was bad to run is because it was supposed to run alongside a companion app that you used while playing, but it wasn't really advertised and no one did it. So if you look into that app or that website, see if they still have it, I heard it runs really good when you actually use it.
I'll check it out, because we do most of our campaigns on the Forge, so I imagine anybody who's actually passionate about 4e will have made that app and integrated it to Forge.
The app thing was very ahead of its time. The problem is it was ahead of its time.
Very ahead of its time.
Well, now it's
So
not ahead
the
of its
thing
time
is
anymore.
that no one had the app or had a laptop that could run the app or something, and then you'd spend someone cast one spell, and that was 20 minutes of your life gone.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah, it was like right before apps like what we have now really became a thing. So yeah, not kidding, it was ahead of its time.
Oh my god, this could actually run well nowadays.
The other problem with 4th edition though is that it's the first. It had something else other than the license thing. They changed the license, and it was basically the precursor to the whole fiasco we had with 5th edition.
Oh.
And that was the other reason why it wasn't very popular, because no one, you made something for it, Wizard of the Coast automatically owned it.
Oh.
which is not
Like,
great for independent creators.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons we literally stopped all D&D content on the channel and tried to find anything else that we could play. Because it basically only impacted content creators, which was 3/4 of my party.
It was the biggest Paizo advertising scheme ever.
Unironically, yes.
Yeah, I will
4e
say that if you're
directly
going to
caused
run-
Pathfinder? Really? Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, actually,
Yeah,
that
and
is
then
that is.
So
5e directly caused Pathfinder 2e.
Yeah.
I mean, directly caused the Pathfinder 2e remaster.
Ah.
4E directly is the reason why Pathfinder 1st edition exists, because the
Yeah.
old people that got let go from Wizard of the Coast just went ahead and made Paizo and made Pathfinder, which is basically just 3.5 but a little different.
I will make my own. I will make my own D&D with gay people.
Mhm. But yeah, no, with the 4th edition, originally what happened with Paizo is where Paizo used to make 3.5 content. Actually, Pathfinder was a monthly magazine, I want to say is what it
I
was.
think so.
Dragon Magazine, yes, and it had some of the
Yeah.
most crazy shit imaginable. So what
But
made
yeah, it was-
Warlocks actually viable with their Eldritch Claws?
But they were making the monthly magazines, and they had some adventures that they made themselves, which were called Pathfinder, but they used 3.5 rules. In fact, if you go back to look at some of the early Pathfinder books, you'll see that the early Pathfinder books still used 3.5 rule set, because it was made with the intention of being used with the 3.5 set system. And then D&D did the thing where they were like, hey, we're going to move to 4th edition. And they were like, oh, well, that's cool. Maybe we'll start making content for 4th edition. And then they were like, yeah, but if you make content for 4th edition, we own it. And Paizo was like, no.
Fine, we'll keep making it 3.5 then.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people stick with 3.5. It's just because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that was a very similar situation happened
they-
with Kobold Press when the 5e OGL came out. Because Kobold
Yeah.
Press were just a content creator for 5e. And then they're like, right,
yeah.
fuck you. If you're going to take all of our stuff, we'll make our own damn system.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Paizo were much quicker on the trigger. They already had one.
Well, they
ready.
already had second edition was already coming out. Is the problem? That's why I said it's the biggest Pathfinder second edition advertising scheme ever.
Yeah.
I will say the OGL can give directly lead to the remaster issue and the Orc license, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the entire reason they did the remaster thing was basically they had basically already moved fully away from D&D content, but they still kept some of the names and stuff like that. And then they used the OGL license because they were like, you know what, we do have our roots here in D&D. It's kind of a way to like pay respect to that. And then D&D was like, hey, we're going to change the OGL license. And Pathfinder was like, well,
never
we
mind
made
then.
an entire system that has your OGL just for a couple of names, basically. You're not taking that from us. I guess we're gonna go ahead and move forward with the Orc license.
Yeah. And the Orc license I love because it's irrevocable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, I could be completely wrong. Isn't the Orc license like owned by a third party or something? Like Paizo don't even own the license anymore.
That's correct. I think it's owned by a law firm. Actually.
Yeah, they got in contact with a law firm to write out the Orc license.
Mm-hmm. They wanted to make
And-
sure that there was no way that they could possibly,
Yeah.
change that.
Couldn't do what D&D just did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad
They
I
wanted-
remember that. Sorry for interrupting.
Because it was a little bit of a wake up call in like a sad, but and also in a good way that the owners of Paizo were like, oh yeah, if we go away, our company could just rot from the inside out and become Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2.0.
That's smart. Okay. Amy, do you want to add anything to your answer before the next side tangent starts?
Sorry.
No, I think that's about good.
Okay.
How about we start the next side tangent manually? What's question 2?
Can I not answer? Am I not allowed to answer?
No.
I said
wait.
side tangent, damn it!
This is
Wait,
our
wait,
talk
the
show now.
Wait, the host is going to answer questions? What? No, that's not allowed. That's illegal.
Aww, I guess we don't talk about the system we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maho. I don't make the rules, you do.
Is it bunkers and badasses?
Unfortunately, you're not allowed to speak.
Okay, but
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Okay, so I played D&D, I played Pathfinder 2nd edition, I played Call of Cthulhu, I played First Resort Lesbian, I played Fate, I played Glitterheart, what is a magical girl, kind of.
I forgot about Glitter Hearts.
I didn't. I will never forget that. I want to play it again. I played
Literally asked for that for my birthday, and I forgot about it.
I played Monster of the Week, and I played also Warhammer 40k once, twice. Wrath and Glory. I played Helena the nurse with a chainsaw. Best thing ever. Since then I'm obsessed with chainsaws. And I played Monopoly.
I think also, did you and Amy play Starfinder 1E?
Yeah,
Or did
and
I hallucinate?
yeah, and I
We
played
did.
Starfighter
Sunny
1E.
ran a Halloween campaign for us.
I almost cried that campaign.
I don't remember that campaign.
That was the campaign where I played the Plymoid girl that was just like ripping out a part out of her chest.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. We never finished it.
Yeah, Bubbles. What's the matter, friend? Like, she was blind, but she had still eyes because she would detect everything with like with other senses. But like, she would still has her eyes open and stare at people. Like, she was absolutely a menace. She stabbed people. She was just like with she ripped out a part out of her slime after it got hardened. She was like, well, I don't need this anymore. Rips out something, has a hole now in her chest, and shaped the whole heart shape, so it looks cute.
So to the heart and you're to blame.
Yeah. I think those are all I played. Yeah, like I played a good chunk. I DM'd
Who is listening to the stream on their speakers?
Octavia.
Sorry, my bad. I was readjusting my headset, and
It's fine.
so my left ear came uncovered.
You're good.
I did like a zombie version of no, a Frankenstein version of Call of Cthulhu and D&D, where I just took the sanity checks and put them into D&D and then tortured my players with it.
Yeah, by the way, the
might be
sanity
a
checks do
favorite.
not translate well to the 5e system.
Oh, that's understandable. When they
Mitch, do you
first
want to tell us
introduced,
about your dog?
No, I do not.
It
I
was
remember how-
it was fun.
It was fun, but also, yeah, it doesn't translate well.
Well, I made the DC really high, by the way. Like, I gave you guys like
You awesome, yeah. Come here. Grab you. Sorry, but yeah. For those who don't know, extremely upgrades for my standards. I played a detective of sorts who had a dog. He knows the intersect and kills his dogs.
okay, but to be fair, the penalty was you attacked the closest thing to you, and I said you can decide. Because you're the player that is your dog, I will turn a blind eye to the dog, and you can just attack a different player. He's like, no, I want to attack the dog and kill the dog.
So the check is designed to like do a minimal amount of damage to something near to you. But you know how dogs in D&D only have 1 HP?
Yeah. I also gave them a false Hydra to fight.
Fast Hydras are the best.
I fully agree, and I also plan to have one. Wait, what? Amen, Maho, you did not hear that.
I mean, I enjoyed False Hydras. It's a shame I've never fought one.
I hate
Yeah.
false
Well, have you?
Hydras.
No, I'd remember.
But yeah, like as you can see, you heard a bunch of things you heard from other people. That's because Sunny DM'd for me, and Amy DM'd for me, and Mitch DM'd for me. So I got a good chunk of like a good variety of things. I think Eden did the Glitter Heart campaign for me for us.
Yes.
There is another magical girl TTRPG thing. I get always like on Instagram commercials for this TTRPG book. It's about magical girls and it's not Glitter Heart. I know I sent it to Amy once, but yeah. I also just know about Vampire the Masquerade, but just because I let Eden like tell me everything about it for like half an hour, just because I was interested and I wanted her to talk about something she likes.
Wow, she talked to you about Vampire the Masquerade for half an hour? So you got through the first page?
Maybe an hour. I don't know how long we talked, but it was nice hearing Eden talk about something very excitedly.
You know what? I somebody who does that, I agree.
You said going through the first page, and all I could think about was me trying to read Lord of the Rings. It's like, I spent half an hour on this page. I think I'm good for today.
I mean, I don't read books for good reasons. I read manga.
As somebody who has read the entire Lord of the Rings series, I fully hear you. I fully understand.
Okay.
No hard feelings.
We've been here for over half an hour. How about we go to the second question?
Yeah.
What is your favorite TTRPG system, of course? Mitch.
Everybody duck!
No, actually, I know what you want to hear, but
No. What I want to hear is face.
let me. I think Pathfinder 2nd Edition is the best system, but my favorite is Wrath and Glory. in World of Darkness. I like it when you have your guy big pool of guys and you fill them out and see what happens. I'm a Warhammer player. I like to fill many dice.
One of the things I enjoyed about Call of Cthulhu, the dice gave the bigger numbers than it scratched the brain itch.
Yeah.
The fact that you had to roll lower than the big numbers was also fun.
I also do like the other two big Warhammer roleplay games right now, that being Fantasy Roleplay and Imperium Benedictum. I'm just TTS. I'm gonna mute now.
Okay, Octavia, what is your favorite TTRPG system?
Oh, my turn. My bad. It definitely is like a toss up between like Pathfinder 2nd edition and Pathfinder 1st edition. I don't know. There's a lot to do with 1st edition.
That's completely fine. How about you, Easy?
So for me, it is probably Pathfinder 2nd edition, and the reason why is because I've been with the series for a long time. My friends and I all started sometime around 2016, trying to find a tabletop role-playing game that we all wanted to play. I've been playing games for tabletop role-playing games ever since like 2004-ish, but they've all been kind of like either custom games or like semi rules-based stuff. So Pathfinder 2nd edition, I think, was a breath of fresh air, because Pathfinder 1st edition I did enjoy at the time, and I think there's some really neat stuff that you can do with it, but Pathfinder 1st edition still holds on to that power gamer fantasy situation. Basically where if you're building in Pathfinder 1st edition, you're building the power build.
Yeah.
You can build anything that's not a power build, but you're going to be less efficient, and some of those adventure paths are not made for less efficient builds.
Mm-hmm.
So 2nd edition, I think, hit that good sweet spot where like there's not really an underpowered build. Like I've seen people make some interesting builds that I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna work, and then it works out flawlessly, and I'm like, you know what? I'll eat my hat. It works out. But I think that's my favorite system right now, is Pathfinder 2nd edition.
As someone that plays a fire kineticist, I hear you about like.
I want to mention something real quick. I have 2 players in my campaign of Pathfinder 2nd edition that play Kineticist. They are both in this room, and it is so hard to balance.
Are they in the room with us?
I love you. I love the
They're also
created, but also you have 2 Kineticists in one room. It's really hard to balance.
Yep. Come on, we made it easy for you. You had a completely pure fire kineticist who has like some resistance to fire, and then you had a water kineticist who's also now a tree kineticist. And they're lesbians for each other. You know, they have each other's back most of the time anyways. Both of them are batshit crazy. It's easy to balance us. Give us something to stomp on, we stomp on it.
Okay, that is fair. But you know what? When I drop you your game box, I'm going to make a kineticist so you can understand my pain.
Well, actually, I want to mention 2 more things about Pathfinder just real quick. One, I love the lore. The lore for Pathfinder is so rich and deep, and it's actually one of the things that makes me really sad about 5th edition, because D&D 5th edition, like D&D used to have like a rich lore and stuff like that, and then they kind of opened it up to the multi-world thing that they opened up with 5th edition, and basically kind of threw out most of their lore, and
Huh.
it's like I'm kind of sad about some of that. Like,
I can
there's certain,
tell you exactly what happened too.
yeah, like
the Githyanki and Githzerai are still at war with each other.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were in Walking Day.
Yeah, for like original D&D was set in the Greyhawk setting, but 5e is set in Forgotten Realms, and it's set in Forgotten Realms because of Drizzt.
that makes a lot of sense.
I will say, as I recently been digging into the Pathfinder lore, it is peak. It is really peak.
It is pretty peak. It's pretty fantastic. There's a couple of people, if you're interested in the lore, I think there's Mythkeeper on YouTube,
Yeah.
who does a really good job of going really deep into the lore. I will say it's a little bit more like background noise than it is like something to watch, but it is pretty great. And then the second thing about Pathfinder that I also like, and why it's one of my favorite systems, is that balancing it is super easy because it's all basic math, and it's done in such a simplistic way that I can take a goblin that is a level 1 creature and go, okay, how do I make this annoying to level 20? I just add a couple numbers here, and guess what? Now this is a annoying goblin for level 20 characters. Done deal.
No, you bring Pun.
As somebody who have just today created my own homebrew creature, and I can't wait to throw at these people, I completely understand.
Yeah.
I can't wait for my turn in combat against it while everybody else kills it.
It's not bird called a raver. It just insults people and deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's the thing we need in our Pathfinder campaign. Of course, the bird lady that is insulting people is already not enough.
Oh god, bitch.
Bastard! I'm the only rotisserie chicken that is allowed in this party. I will turn you into a chicken nugget and eat you.
I love you already. Sorry for interrupting there. Please go on.
Okay, so Mitch and Easy sitting on a tree, talking about law. I don't know, SMG.
Keep going. I believe in you. You can do it.
Okay, Easy, are you done? Or
Yeah, that's basically it. So that's my answer.
okay, Sunny, what's your favorite TTRPG system? Or top
Well,
3?
I like Pathfinder 1. I'm kidding, it's not so weak.
Yeah. Good decision. It is great. I will talk about it in a moment. Amy, you said it already, but what is your favorite system?
Yes, I mentioned earlier it's Fate. It's gotta be Fate. I just absolutely adore like the settings that are more rules light, so that you can really focus on the interactions and the stories that are being built. And Fate is literally just like, hey, here's a framework for you guys to tell a story together. Everybody gets a turn, everybody gets input, and everybody comes out of it feeling like they've contributed to the world.
Fate was really fun. It's a bit difficult, like, for the beginning to, like, get into it. Like, it's a bit tricky sometimes to know when you can do what. But it certainly is fun. I enjoyed it a lot. As someone that likes storytelling, that is, like, I enjoyed it.
That's the fun thing about Fate, is you can do anything. You almost literally make your own rules. Like, the first session is always encouraged to be, alright, hey, you guys, sit around the table with absolutely no preconceptions. What game do you want to play? What setting do you want it in? How do you build the world? What characters are in that world?
Yeah, we definitely
you make like 9 NPCs before you even decide which of those NPCs you want your player character to be.
We definitely have to go back to placeholders. This will be fun, especially because the concept of placeholders is to not only play Fate, but also play different systems. That way we can try out more of them. Okay, for me, and this is really difficult for me, I just enjoy TTRPGs. But But if it's like D20 systems, you know, like Pathfinder, D&D and stuff, everything above level 5. I know people really like their low-level campaign, but I personally enjoy campaigns when we are at level 5. When you actually got things to do. When you actually got some abilities that can do some... You know, like, you're the strongest person in the village. You're not the strongest person in the world, but certainly, like, the strongest one around. You can do some fine trickery. The story usually gets more intense starting at level 5 to level 10. Like, that's when the story picks up and you're not doing just commissions on the side. And so, like, I really enjoy D&D for what it is. Like, I played it the most, but, like, I enjoyed D&D because I played it under Amy. Like, I really like Amy's campaign and the characters I made there. If I just go for...
Aww, you're still not getting that leash.
Why am I not getting that leash? I have 3 people I need to put on a muzzle and a leash so they don't eat fey food. Do you know how hard it is to babysit one of those gremlins? And I am a gremlin. I need babysitting. Why do I need to babysit an army of people that lick the floor?
I know exactly how hard it is to babysit 3 of those gremlins. I do 6 of it every week.
But like if I would have to pick one, Gremlin mentioned. That's a cool emote. I think, I'm not sure, but I think Monster of the Week has like the good amount of like you have like some rolling to do. You have a really big chunk of roleplay, but you can have combat that is, when the DM knows what he does, good balance. And I only played it with Sonny, so it was always pretty good balanced. Like, that is like, I really like the role-playing aspect, so...
Flirt with Sonny all you want, he's not giving you the leash either.
No,
She already has the leash, she has Shaney.
Sonny is like one of the DMs that is like, oh, I will make you like cool NPCs you guys will love. And then we'll complain to other people that he has to, you know, like, make romance scenes with 3 players because they're all like picked an NPC to romanticize. That's how good Sonny's NPCs are.
You're going to go this case for you.
He's suffering. They're suffering from success. Like Amy got the bunny girl. I got the werewolf boy. Paige got the fae thing. They all were really happy with their accessory partners and the cutesy scene that Sonny had to come up with.
Yeah, Sonny had like a real hard time trying to like make NPCs that we would all love. Like for Mahu, he had to craft this perfect boy who was protective but also a little bit dumb. For Paige, he had to make a gender fluid fae creature who constantly insulted her but deep down loved her. For me, he had to make a bunny.
That stepped on you.
Correction, a goth bunny.
A goth bunny that stepped on you.
Okay, you had me at bunny. The fact that goth preceded it is just a coincidence.
And then she proceeded to fix you.
Yeah, she fixed your awful behavior. Like, the other thing is, sorry, I have to sing praise about Sonny. Praise needs to be sung where praise needs to be in place. We met so many NPCs, we went ooga booga hot while we're already taken. Like, Sonny just like at the end introduced another NPC that like half of us was like, oh my god, ooga booga, like why am I not single right now? I would take this man. He could take me. I don't mind. I don't need a free will or anything. I just need this man.
Yeah,
like,
you know what? You're completely right. I could take 5 women. Right?
So, I usually I like a good storytelling and I like a good romance. Usually, I go for if Amy is there, I will usually go for Amy because I know Amy's the only one that would reciprocate things like this. But Sonny just makes damn good NPCs. Like even the evil NPCs on, you know, good enough like written that I just like, oh my god, I hate this person, but I cannot really kill this person because they're important, and I should probably do something else. Like
Mayor LaFay.
Oh yeah, I hated this woman with a burning passion. But she was useful in her own way, so I couldn't kill her. So yeah, probably Monster of the Week of like the things I played so far was like one that I played the longest I like. Probably Call of Cthulhu comes really close afterwards. But I cannot imagine like a Call of Cthulhu campaign that goes longer than 2 or 3 weeks. Like that's like when I'm getting concerned with what I roll. And then every other TTRPG out there. As long as I can roleplay and as long as I have fun with friends and as long as I have like people DM that I trust, then so be it. Also, never let me DM. Trust me, guys. I'm awful. I will be like, oh, I don't know what to put a monster in front, and then someone is whispering in my ear, put a false Hydra there, and I just put a false Hydra there and smile like an angel.
I'm the someone.
No, no, that's Eden, was it? It was particularly Eden that had the false Hydra idea. I just had the idea to give you guys sanity checks. Okay, third question. Maho rambled enough for the next 2 minutes.
Can I ask a question though?
Yeah, ask the question.
So about the goth bunny girl, does she happen to make PS1 style graphic games?
No, she had a bar.
Damn.
No, she kind of. It was her femboy twink brother who was.
Yeah, she had a femboy twink brother. That was like the top
good.
thing. It was the goth short stack bunny girl and her femboy brother.
Yig.
Gig.
And you can imagine that how Ooga Wooga, like 3 girls went with this cast.
Honestly, fill in a big tall muscle mommy and I am there for you.
Oh, there was one. There was one. There was.
I am officially young.
Yeah, I feel like the big tall muscle mummy was aimed at my character, but then I had to point out that he'd already introduced the bunny girl. Sorry.
I'm just saying my goal here is done. Chat neuron activation has been achieved, therefore I win.
Okay. What TTRPG would you like to try? Like one you haven't played yet.
Bunkers and badasses.
Yeah.
You know what?
Sorry.
Agreed.
Okay. Okay. So, easy. You two should Sonny explain to us what this was about.
Oh, I need to explain what?
What the game is about.
Oh,
No, I was asking Easy if he also wants to figure out what Sonny was talking about this motherfucking truck thing, something.
Motherfucking.
oh yeah.
Giant
At one point-
motherfucking crab truckers.
Oh yeah. At one point, I'm definitely looking up that system. Like that's definitely something I would be looking up. But like you said, what tabletop RPG we would like to try?
Yeah, what you haven't played yet.
Uh,
Like you heard of it, but you haven't played it yet yourself.
I had an answer and then I forgot the answer.
Sorry.
It's okay. Give me just 1 second to remember what my answer was. Go ahead, let someone else go next. I
Okay.
guess real fast. While I'm thinking about it.
Sonny, what system would you like to try out that you haven't played yet?
Oh, maybe some. All of them.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer.
I remember what mine is.
Yes.
I want to learn how to play Lancer at some point.
Okay.
I have heard of that, but
I heard of. I didn't.
Yeah, Lancer is a game where you play as mechs. Like giant mechs, like Gundam style.
I am already
Um,
interested.
Well, Gundam style. No, don't worry. I get what you mean.
Is it kind of like BattleTech?
I think it's a little like BattleTech, but one of my favorite things about it is that on their official thing, they have a mech called the Goblin Mech that is doing a dab in front of the trans pride flag, and it's this image. I'll post it in.
Is it free?
Chat.
Is it free? Kobolds in the mech?
No,
I've seen this
Goblin.
image. It's so good.
yeah, that's actually
Yep.
really good.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's
the artwork is really cool.
It is.
I
It's
am
very
actually named
detailed.
website.
It's very detailed. It scares me as an artist.
It reminds me, I can't put my finger in it, but this kind of gives me a... okay, this is a high praise. This kind of feels like an off-brand Warhammer thing. And that's high praise coming from me.
That image is the reason I put armor and mech as a surcharge on my commission sheets.
Yeah, same.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, Lancer has all sorts of different like cool mech designs and stuff like that that really have my attention, because like I'm not like the biggest mech person ever, but like when I see a design that makes me go, ooh, I want to see more of that, it's one of those things. It's like, okay, what is this from and why is it there? So like cool mech designs like this, for example, really like catch my imagination and make me go, I want to learn more about this.
Makes sense. Octavia, Mitch, do you have like other systems you want to try out before you all in unison decided on one? Because I just skipped over you two because of that.
Yeah, you're completely fine. Dragon Brain, basically just all of the Swedish TTRPGs out there. Dragon Brain, we have Nordic creatures, we have mutants, we have basically those three.
I see.
Also, this does count. Starfinder second edition.
Yeah, of course.
I would pay you money to give me the rules right now.
Of course, this
I also
counts.
want that.
I'm also looking forward to it because I usually am not that big of a space kind of person, but like it sounds really fun, and like if you know whatever I played in first edition is better explained in the second edition, I would be up for it.
What I feel, Sunny and Easy can correct me on this, but I feel Starfinder's vibes are like Warhammer but not as Grimdark, because we have like the searching space stuff, we have like the super military people and whatnot. But also just really gay.
Yeah, there's
Everything is good when it's gay.
That's why I like Python. Yeah, that is my answer. Pathfinder second edition and all of the Swedish ones.
Once again, coming from the playtest, Pathfinder second edition is very fun.
Anything else you would like to try out at some point, Octavia?
Like I said, bunkers and badasses. I would love to try Godbound. It looks like a lot of fun. Like just being able to literally make a straight up god and then just have fun with it is like, I don't know, that tickles my Hades loving, Greek mythology loving, Norse mythology loving brain.
Oh yeah, God. Can you put the name for this like in the chat? I'm trying. I try to work with Amy on something regarding our campaign we're playing right now. I told her some lore about an anime called Noragami and how they handle like reincarnations of gods. And since then, I'm just like bugging Amy for like, oh, we're killing a bunch of gods right now. What if those gods are getting like reincarnated and stuff like this, and we could play as the gods? So I'm bugging
Indeed.
her heavy and hard.
Honestly, this way you create like your own god. I feel I'm going to also use that for all of my friends because I feel because of how I make my homebrew world. Yeah, I can just make all of you as the Pathfinder gods.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not a god, I'm a saint.
And in my world, that is basically the same.
I did remember one other game that I wanted to try. Has anybody heard of Fabula Ultima?
No,
Yeah.
but it sounds cool.
Yeah.
That's the one I've been interested in recently.
Ah,
Yeah, that one right there.
this looks so anime.
I think it's more based on like kind of like JRPGs, so like
Yeah,
Final Fantasy. And...
you know what the J in JRPG stands for?
No, I have no idea. You know, it's completely lost on me. I have no idea.
June. You can only play them in June. It's the rules.
It's only in June. That makes a lot of sense. No wonder
Yeah.
I've seen no one play it since.
Yeah. But a bit what gets me interested is you don't pick a character. What you do is you have a set of skills you can pick through to customize your character.
That's
Ooh.
cool.
But does that set of skills make you a problem for particular people like me?
As someone who is always a problem, probably.
I identify as a problem, Amy. You spend time with me out of your free volition. You can handle problems.
I mean, it's easier when the problems are pretty.
Well, then you should have no problem with yourself.
I have also found that the very unrelated, but innocent nemesis and come back. Starfinder 2E is releasing in the north of July. And in July, I imagine in about August we will see like the rules update or like the
Oh my god, that is after Amy was on.
and whatnot.
That is after Amy was in Germany. That
Yeah.
I still have to make plans for that. What we do there. But like some of the plans will probably involve Amy streaming with my PC, and some of the plans involving just like Amy and me just like spending time in front of a webcam. You can decide like what we will do in your mind, but yeah, I'm
I'm also reading the comments. Regardless, someone.
Okay. So,
I am literally vibrating of excitement.
yeah, I can hear it. I'm in
Yeah.
Germany right now. Amy, what TTRPG would you like to try?
It's one I've played, but I would like to go back and finish Glitter Hearts.
Yeah.
Because we played like one
One.
section of it. We didn't really manage to get into the meat and bones of it. But I very much like to go back and play my Magical Girl RPG.
Yeah, that's like the dream. I want to be a magical girl, and then no one played it with me anymore.
Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there like a magical girl archetype in Pathfinder 2E you mentioned to me?
There is, yeah. I was gonna respec Cal into it, but then I decided no, it gives me everything Cal already does, and this means I don't have to relearn everything.
Okay, but here's the fun thing. Amy here is saying that she likes it, and she has like, isn't like 3 different ways to just completely alter your visuals and whatnot?
Yep. I've got a ring that lets me change my clothing. I've got a necklace that lets me change my appearance. I've got a scarf that lets me change my clothing and my appearance. I keep offering them to the rest of the party, but the rest of the party's like, no, you can use them better.
Well, you're the face of the group. I'm just the brain behind it, and the ADHD brain that is. So you can have all
I'm
the
the-
shiny things.
I'm
the
the
great
face, you're
restraint
the
to say, "Oh
nerds.
God."
I love.
Both kinetics help me.
You know, being kineticist, you say this is OP. That is great. Yeah, we can go into a bar, find the biggest and bulkiest guy, offer him, like, if he wants to do a drinking contest with one of the two, like, very thin ladies in front of him. Offer a bunch of gold. He will obviously say yes because he thinks we cannot hold our liquor. Drink him under the table in less than 5 minutes because kineticists have, like, so high tolerance that we cannot get drunk unless we roll a net 1. But we cannot use any weapons or items or anything. You know, like,
I need weapons or items. We are getting way off topic. I apologize.
Okay. So for me, there are a bunch of things I would be interested to try out. Like, I'm just like Sunny, just like all the TTRPGs, I just have fun playing new things. I don't like when the rule set is complicated, because that means I have to do a lot of reading and my brain cannot comprehend it. But what I really want to try out is Vampire the Masquerade. Like after Eden gave me like a good crash course on it, it sounded so interesting. Like, with the entire vampire society and all of this sounded so much fun.
Sorry, Maho, those statements don't go together. I don't like TTRPGs that are complicated. I want to try Vampire the Masquerade.
If you ever want to torture Maho, let's have her play D&D 3.5.
3.5 is not that bad. If you want to fry someone's brain, throw them into fucking 2nd edition advance.
No, you know how to fry someone's brain? Play 1st edition Starfinder and then watch the meltdown happening.
That's just 3.5, Maho.
That's what I was about to say. Like, if you think 3.5 is gonna cook her,
well, as someone who
Starfinder 1 cooked her, and that is a simplified version of 3.5.
Yeah. Well, as someone who's literally read every single 3.5 book ever created, yeah, it gets wacky.
Here's my opinion on that. When it comes to like rules heavy systems, I think one of the biggest things about it is that, like, as a game master, that's primarily, like, don't get me wrong, I don't know every single rule in Pathfinder 2e, but as a game master, it's kind of my responsibility to work on that part of things. The only thing that the player should have to worry about is just what their character can do.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, that's kind of what I focus on.
Yeah, like, if I have someone that guides me through, like, a lot of, like, rule sets, then I don't mind it. It just needs someone to hold my hand, because you cannot give me a book and just say, oh, just read this one and you understand. I will not understand.
Yeah,
I don't have a good reading comprehension. I can read things, but, like, most of the time I don't understand it. Like, it for me, everything that has too long of a paragraph to explain to me one skill, it feels like rocket science to me.
Yeah, the way that
I'm a terrible dungeon master.
The way that I word things in when I do game mastering stuff is I literally go, okay, what do you want to do? Or what would your character want to do? And then they would say, oh, well, I want to, like, open this lock. It's like, okay, roll me this number and add this number to it, and we'll see if you pass. And that's basically how I do it with everything, is that as long as you keep track of your character stuff, I'll take care of the hard parts of, you know, what's actually required by the rules and stuff like that. And sometimes, you know, like I said, I don't know every rule in Pathfinder. I definitely don't know every rule in every tabletop role-playing game. Sometimes, as the game master, you just gotta kind of go, okay, do that thing, and roll me this. And you kind of just make it up on the spot, because you have to.
That's one thing that separates an experienced game master from a new one, is the experienced game master can very quickly homebrew a rule on the spot and then figure out what it's supposed to be later.
Exactly. That's one of the things.
For other reasons, you have, like, sometimes a rules lawyer as players that help out when the game master really has, like, a moment of not knowing. And then there's Google for the really tough decisions.
So on one hand, I don't mind having rules lawyer players who are, like, willing to actually help out. But every now and then, I have run into rules lawyer players that they're like, oh, this is how that works. And it actually ends up, like, making the experience a little worse. Not like worse, but like it's like
the trick with that is to keep your rules lawyers in check. You tell them, like, you can help if you want. I very much appreciate that you're here to give me a hand with the rules.
There's a fine line between
what
helping...
I say goes.
Sorry. Yeah.
But go ahead.
With the rules lawyers, there's a fine line between helping because we're stuck and not helping, thinking you know something, and then just going, oh wait, no, that's something completely different. Sorry, that's another like 15 minutes wasted.
Yeah,
right.
You want the rules lawyers who go, well, what you want to do for that is you turn to page 30 and you'll find the rules there. So you need to do this, and this, rather than the. I think you'll find that the rules are on page 30. Why don't you go and read them?
See,
That's the difference between the two rules lawyers kinds.
I've had both of those experiences, but I've also had people who are rules lawyers that either A, don't understand the rules themselves, who decide to pop in, or I'll say, hey, you want to do this thing, go ahead and roll me this or whatever, and then like halfway through the roll being done, they're like, actually, that the roll actually states this, and it's like, well, I've already made that decision of what it is right now, so we're gonna stick to what it is, and then later on, I'll make that adjustment, and I thank you for letting me know, but like, I'm not gonna have the person re-roll everything that they just did because you found the rule.
Yeah,
So
no.
generally on my table, I play with two meta rules. One, what the GM says is final. And two, you can't retcon anything if your turn has ended.
Yeah,
and it's... Go ahead.
Yeah, like, as a player, like, I played under multiple GMs now. I very much appreciate, like, how Amy usually handles it. Like, especially because we're a big group, we're like, how many people? 6?
Yeah, 6, 7 if you include the DM, and that's, like, not even taking into account the fact that we have guest characters sometimes.
Yeah. So, Amy is handling, like, big groups pretty well.
Right.
And also, like, she
to
got...
revisit a previous joke, I can take 6 guys in a fight, right?
In a fight?
And, like, when I started out, like, I was interested in TTRPGs, but I was always, like, too afraid of the rules, and Amy really easily, like, started to, like, get me into it, and, like, tried to explain it to me, and especially, like, the first year, I was very much the baby of the group that didn't know what she was doing. But, like, the rules lawyer helped me when I really didn't know what to do. Every other player was patient with me when I had to read up on a spell effect again because I couldn't remember. And my turns were always taking longer because it took me forever to figure out which spell I want to use. And Amy was...
TTRPGs very much come down to, like, the group that you play with rather than the system you play, and I think that very much is an important thing to keep in mind.
That's 100% true. I agree with that. And, experiences definitely alter, or change between party to party situations, because the way that one group will do something will be completely different how another group will do it. And even some people who, like, go between different groups will play differently depending on the people that they're around. So,
yeah, like Sunny will definitely like categorize my playstyle differently than Amy would to describe me as a player. I'm definitely more daring with Sunny, but just because I know Sunny will give me enough shit back if I just like bullshit my way through everything.
I mean, I already have a rule. If you can convince me of it, you can bullshit it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How I play it.
I am God here. If you can fool God, you can fool anyone.
Yeah.
I will say, just like on the thing of just like, it's more the system than the player. It can be a bit of both, because if you're brand new to an RPG and your first experience is 3.5 or Pathfinder 1 edition or like something out of like, or like Call of Cthulhu to an extent.
Mutant and Masterminds.
Yeah, it's like you can have the best group ever. like that group might be like the group for you. That game is not for you though.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I 100% agree with that for sure. I will say that having a good GM who is willing to be patient with you though can make a big difference, because
Yeah.
I've had some people who were never played tabletop role-playing games ever before, and at the time I was playing Pathfinder First Edition, and I was like, come play my game, we'll do this. And they really enjoyed the system after I sat down and talked to them and went through things. Now, is it their favorite system today? Probably not, and I can understand why. But it's definitely one of those things that, like, the system can sometimes really be a real turnoff because, it might be just not for you, and that's okay.
Yeah, so
but I can say that having a good group and having a good GM can also make a big impact on that. So
yeah, I'm happy I started with D&D because it was like probably not the easiest thing you could start with, but also not the most difficult thing you can start with. At least 5e. So now that I played this for 3 years, and then I played something like Monster of the Week, what was like completely different playstyle. Like, if I wouldn't have played D&D so heavily, I probably would have been afraid of Pathfinder 2e. I still hate Pathfinder 1e and Starfighter 1e. That shit is just like, like, I'm not smart enough for this. I feel like I need to have a degree in something to understand most of the things. So, yeah. But, like, that's why I'm, like, so interested in Vampire of the Masquerade, because now I've played for many years. Not many, but at least a couple years. And now I have the feeling, I could maybe try out, like, a more difficult system. Like, if the right GM is ruling it, and I'm with friends that will definitely forgive me for not knowing everything, then this will be a fun experience, even though I maybe have to ask 3 times in 10 minutes what to do next. But
absolutely.
I think that's the fun of TTRPGs. If you have like a good group, you can try out every system. Talking about systems, what system do you like the most? And this is like not like based on like a game. It's more of the like what dice you roll, like D20, D6 systems, D100 systems. Like just in general, like what do you prefer? Mitch, we start with you.
I will say, as much as I like Pathfinder, I am in love with any dice pool game and any D100 game.
Yeah.
I play Warhammer. I like it when I play like orcs and have a bucket of dice I just throw on the table, and like I succeed barely because I don't like ask. But yes, I like it when there are many math guys and many math blocks. I mean,
Octavia.
Definitely a Roll20 system. Like yeah, obviously I like having the whole die set and everything, and rolling a bunch of dice. But at the same time, I just like the simple, roll a d20, you get your result, regardless if you like your result or not. It's pretty set, simple. You add your modifier. Did you pass? Cool. Did you not pass? Nah, that sucks. But I mean, there's always next turn.
Yeah. Easy.
So this is actually a complicated answer for me, and it's because of one reason. I like dice.
Me too.
In general. So like, any system that has dice is always a big like plus for me. However, my favorite kind of system actually doesn't use dice at all. My favorite kind of system uses playing cards.
Ooh.
Games like what is it? Dead West? I want to say that's right, but that might be incorrect. It's a Western game, and there's also one that I've actually recently been looking into with I got to actually know the developer a little bit. It's called Abide Asteria. It's a card-based tabletop role-playing game in space.
I see.
And I think honestly that like that's probably one of my favorite kinds of systems because I don't know, maybe I just like playing cards in general, just as a general
Makes
setup
sense.
for things.
Yeah.
But like I really like them as a setup.
I also want to make a small thing here. I also like D100 system because in those there are usually like rules that says like, oh yeah, easy mode you add this and this modifier. Yeah, anyway, carry on.
Before I let Sunny speak, Sunny has something in his when he plays with us what I really like. What is sometimes you don't know like what the likelihood of it is. Amy like had it later also with the luck die, but Sunny just sometimes lets us roll a percentage. So we just roll a d100, and that is the percentage of like how likely we succeeded, or if we found something that we were looking for and stuff like this. I don't know, that's definitely like a homebrew thing, but I just liked it because it was like giving like a little bit of extra control and flavor over to like things you do. Because
yeah, that's that one. That's an old GM's trick for I don't know what to make you roll any die.
yeah, so
Yeah.
like that was my first introduction to the D100 die. Thank you, Sunny, for introducing me to it. I was very scared of this die. Now I'm not. So what is your favorite system
I
style?
don't really have any.
You're-
Like whatever works for the whatever works.
That's
It's always
very
fun to break
fair.
out the golf ball.
Also,
Yeah, I was just about to say, bring out the golf balls.
I wish I would have the golf ball
Yeah, a
D100.
bit explanation of the system. Like a good way to think about it is the narrative declaration
Yeah.
from like Zoran the Bear and Wrath and Glory. Basically, it's something that could happen, but I didn't really think about it. So it's like, all right, go ahead and see if that's something that happened. Like the example I always use, you're in your home and you're getting hassled by the guard. You could go, hey, Sonny, if this is my hometown, could it be possible I personally know this guard? And if we would go, well, I mean, yeah, that's a possibility. Go ahead and roll a D100. And depending on the roll, it could be, yes, you were actually best friends with this guy, so he's going to let you off the hook. Or, no, you guys never really interacted. Or if it's a bad roll, it's, oh, yeah, you know each other. You hit each other's guts. And now you are in a position to, he's not in a position to do something about it.
I have a similar thing. I just copied the rockline declaration. However, adding a dice roll to it, I will absolutely do in the future.
Amy, what is your favorite system?
I'm a lot more familiar with the D20 systems because those are the ones I've played the most. But like being a big fan of the Fate system, I do really enjoy the Fudge die. I think it's just a really unique way of rolling die. If I had to pick a favorite, I would probably go for the D100. Because that's just a very fun way of, like, you know, rather than having to set a DC. The DC is there for you. It's your skill. Roll the D100 to see if your skill's good enough.
Yeah, that was really fun. It was like a thing to like understand first, but it was easy enough to understand. It was fun. For me, like especially like systems that are similar to Monster of the Week is like also Glitterheart and stuff, and those are all D6 systems, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Monster of the Week, Glitterhearts, and Thirsty Sword Lesbians are all based off of a public use system called Powered by the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Which is basically like, here's a framework to make your own TTRPGs if you want. That's why there's a lot of similarities between them.
Yeah, and I really like this because they have like a lot of role-playing aspects, but you still can roll dice. I do love my D20s. I have a bunch of D20s. Not a bunch, I have a couple D20s. I can never roll on webcam because I only have one webcam and that is like tracking my face. So I do like rolling dice. I just in general like rolling dice. It just makes me very happy, and I wish I would have the money to be the dice goblin that I want to be. If I could, I would have a really big hoard of dice. I'm like a hoarder in my heart. Like, since I'm a baby, I'm hoarding things. I have
the dragons hoard gold while Maho hoards dice.
I started hoarding plush elephants, and then it was like elephant like figurines, and then when I got over this, it was like elf figurines. Then it was like for like a period of time it was snow globes. I have so many snow globes. Then those music boxes. Now anime figurines and mangas. If I get obsessed with something, I will hoard it. So it's
All right.
So if you want to get into Maho's heart, buy her an elephant snow globe
no, just
with an elf in it.
Holding
No.
dice.
no. I've been past those obsessions. I got past them. Now I have just a giant amount of plushies and stuff. Like it's easy to get into my heart if you want to buy it. I'm literally hoarding almost everything you can think of. You can find something. I probably still have a hoard somewhere. I just don't have the money for it.
I want to jump in here real quick. I'm not a dice goblin, Irina. I'm more of a dice halfling. I buy dice and give them to everybody I meet who wants them.
Does that mean if we ever meet, you give me a die? Yes!
Okay. Here's the funny thing. I don't have them on me right now, but in my shelf, in my kitchen, I have 2 sets of dice, specifically for Maho and for Amy.
So you're coming to Germany this year, so you can give.
Aww. Okay, here's the thing. I live in Sweden, so you would imagine that, oh, it's really easy, just go down there.
No, it's not easy.
I live in central Sweden, so it's like 20 hours by anything.
Don't worry, Mitch. It's already hard enough to get Amy to Germany. It's hard
You know
enough
what
to
I
get
mean?
me from one end to Germany to the other end for the convention. But
I feel, however, I can do something really funny, but it will require a lot of trust, and I don't think you will want to trust that way.
if you want to send it via mail, I literally send it mail to you because you bought something from me. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Also, I intend to hope that my family has a house in the next 1 or 2 years, so my address will change soon anyway. I just need to be on good terms with you for the next 2 years, and I'm safe.
Let's continue.
Yeah. So next question. What is your favorite part of playing TTRPGs? That is the last question. You answer first, Mitch.
As a game master and as a person who has been binging my world for 15 years, yes.
Accepted answer.
Okay, but yeah, my favorite part as a game master is just to explore either my own world or hopefully the world of the Pathfinder universe. I really want to game master in that. And you're exploring, doing social encounters and whatnot. As a player, I love to be the paragon of the party. The one guy who looks down at the horde of cats and just goes like, okay, how am I going to hurt these cats? And now I am part of the cats.
Octavia. What's your favorite aspect of playing TTRPGs?
As a forever player, because I am terrible at DMing. I would just say probably just, being my character, being something I'm not for 5 minutes, or being something I want to be for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Good old escapism.
Oh golly, you will like the last questions of this talk show. Easy, what is your favorite part?
Not playing the tabletop role playing. I'm just kidding. No, actually, my favorite part of tabletop role playing games is like people coming together. Honestly, that's the thing that like makes it all worth it, because being able to hang out and have fun with my friends, sometimes we get together and we're getting ready for the game and we spend about 15-20 minutes talking memes and other stuff, and then we actually get to the game, and then we're still having we still have that kind of jovial fun throughout the entire thing. That's the thing that honestly I think makes all tabletop role-playing games worth it, is people coming together and having fun. Like, if you're not having fun, what's the point of playing the game,
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite part.
Sunny, what's your favorite part?
The look of terror in my player's eyes.
Your sadistic bastard would enjoy that.
It's like
we
I
need
said,
to go over all of the various NPCs you made for us so that we can have cuddle time with you individually.
No, just that time when you accidentally said Tatiana's name, causing her to take interest in summoning you.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
peak.
Oh god, yeah, when I think Paige Rose said accidentally Titania, and suddenly Titania was standing in our office and was very interested, especially in the child-shaped person. AKA me, I was a danger.
I like how everyone is like wholesome and sweet, and I smell the fear coming from my.
You're cutting out perfectly, Sonny.
Maho's just in the middle of the room and just like, I need an adult. I am an adult.
No, she plays a child. I was the adult.
I'm saying she needs an adult. I am an adult.
Yeah.
I have also shared 2 clips in the talk show chat that is just summarizing my 2 main moods as a player and as a game master.
And funny enough, all my players seem to love it too. Whenever they scraped through that time when Amy died.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm
it's
sorry,
like
that time singular?
yeah, that's when your character died through her own flamethrower exploding in her face, and the way everyone panicked and worked real hard to make sure you didn't stay dead.
Oh yeah,
I am proud of how I made Alexander die, or come up with die.
And die again, and then he stayed dead.
Yeah, okay, so basically he is
You
MIA,
can-
missing in action.
Yeah, you can share that later.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, like Sunny is very much like the epitome of like the evil GM giggle sound. Like,
Oh, I like you. I like you more and more and more I hear of you.
you should like if we really pick up the placeholder campaign again. This will definitely be like a campaign where we all switch, like everyone that's participating is switching who is being the DM. Definitely when Sunny is a DM, you should just like watch it for a couple minutes. You will see like as the hellfire in his eyes as he's telling us to go to a planet and do some bullshit just to mess with us.
I have a better idea. Sunny, my DMs are open. Good luck.
We
Sunny-
appreciate
Okay, so
Sunny.
you need to go to the 7 Hells.
Trust me, he sent us to the Feywild at some point.
Nice.
And
I
that
have his
almost got them
notes.
too, because they met the guard who was a troll, and the first thing the guard says, hello, may I have your names? And they almost fell for it.
The fact if you almost fell for it, that just makes it much more fun. I will say.
I mean, I had players who did fall for it once, but
Well,
They were never
but
again.
unfortunately, they know too much about Faye to fall for it.
yeah, one of us was dating one Fae. The other one sold her name to a Fae. The third one was making a deal with a Fae to get a demon. You know, like we had our funny business. The scariest thing that he did was not Titania. It was being standing in the Feywild. We were about to leave. And then the queen that was sitting there was like, wait a second, Ariel. That was the name of that was like the alias of the fae we had with us. Well, have you received a thank you for the food you were sharing with them? And we started to panic because there was ice cream in the fridge. It belonged to Ariel. And Ariel was like to the two children, oh, you can have some. And you know, like, suddenly we started to panic. Ariel started to panic. We were searching for things.
Every player suddenly became a rules lawyer, and it was glorious.
I can game master. I know this when that happened.
Yeah, so we started to panic. We resolved this. But I know that 1 or 2 or 3 fays were very, very much interested in keeping the depressed child there. Or everyone there. Sunny's fays are absolutely terrifying creatures. That's why I'm scared that Sunny and Amy are talking about fae.
As somebody who also has the motto of burn the fae to the ground, I approve. My fae are also absolutely terrifying.
Amy, what is your favorite aspect of TTRPGs?
That's definitely the storytelling. Like, you'll hear this a lot from me. Like, the reason I play TTRPGs is because there's too much in my head and I would like to get it out. And if there are 6 players here to, like, gently poke the direction of the thing as it's coming out, then it makes the experience a lot more interesting for me. It makes it a lot more realistic and authentic.
Amy, stop being a mood.
Okay, fine. TTRPGs suck. Boo.
Okay. So, I will give the answer that everyone wants to hear from me because everyone's saying, oh, well, baby. I just really like spending time with my friends. But, like, the thing I really enjoy is just, like, being part of a story. Just not just, like, telling a story. It's, like, being part of one. If the story, like, has its own direction it's going, and then your character and your character backstory is being used, and, you know, like, you follow the story, but you also shape it with you being present. I just really enjoy that. Like, I enjoyed the fantasy and the magic about it, like, the escapism I get from it. Like, real life sucks. I don't have magical powers and I don't have a dragon, so real life sucks. So, like, having D&D and, like, having those whimsical adventures, try out new things I would never dare to do in IRL, being a different person, like, I really like to go into characters. I play from, like, the wholesome goody two-shoes to literally chaos gremlins. I just like to be, like, a different person and just, like, experience how this person would react in this scenario. Like, sometimes I didn't even know a character of mine would react until I say the reaction they did. It's just so fun. And if the story that is told is interesting, and I have the feeling I can, push the story onwards. Not push the story onwards. If I can shape the story. I don't like the pushing part. So, yeah, that's just, like, my favorite aspect. Be someone else and having fun. And shaping a story together and hopefully ending a good conclusion at the end. I'm a sucker for happy ends. So, now we're starting from a different person. Question number 6. What is the hardest or your least favorite thing about TTRPGs? Because we were all swooming over them. So let's talk about what we don't like. Amy, do you want to go first, or should I let Sunny have the next 5 turns first?
No. I've already got an answer prepared. So you know how I've said a few times that like, my goal with 5e was to run a 1 to 20 campaign. My God, is it hard running a campaign after level 10? Fucking, there are no high-level monsters in basically any system. Almost everything I do is homebrew now. Like, it was already, but now I'm forced to homebrew. Like, at least in a lower level setting, I could go and take a goblin and reskin it a bit and make it into a decent thing. Now I've got to go and find, like, an idea and some attacks, and figure out how to implement those attacks, and figure out how to balance those attacks, and figure out how much HP to give the enemies when I'm dealing with a monk who can hit 14 times a turn, and a caster who's got access to 8th level spells, and like literally fucking Maho's character who can just charm anything I put in front of them.
Oh come on! I charmed one
so
dragon. I charmed one dragon.
One dragon. Do I need to list off the things that the party has stolen from me that I had initially planned to be boss encounters?
I remember the mech.
Oh no, Amy, I would wonder what that's like. Here's the demon. I'm going to make it mine. It doesn't like you. I don't care.
It's cute.
It doesn't like you. I have a goth bunny girlfriend. You think that threatens me?
It's a fucking fox that curses at me all the time. Of course the bottom will like it. What did you...
I love you, Maho.
You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking, but...
I know you're not, because I am exactly the same.
Actually, I think every single one... I'm sorry.
Jesus, Sonny.
I'm sorry, I just realized every single one of you stole one.
Not me. I haven't done anything.
I haven't yet either.
You're so angry your mic peaked after you stole.
I'm sorry. Just
Yeah, hey,
realizing every single one of you stole one of my supposed to be dangerous, uber scary demons.
I
You
did?
stole Wrath. Didn't you steal my... You already had a demon.
Yeah, I had one.
You stole Wrath.
You came in with one.
Paige stole
Sloth.
fucking Sloth.
Depresso. Oh god. Depresso. I love Depresso. The best creature ever. It was literally a depressed, slimy cat. It was also a demon that would eat everyone, but it was depressed. We called it Depresso. It was peak.
I pick it up, I take it home. Mine.
Yeah, that's what we
Basically, yeah.
did. And Sunny didn't like that. We
the
became
puzzle we were
Pokemon
given
trainer.
The puzzle we were given is find a way to dispel this demon, and Paige just fed it. And then she fed it, and now because she fed it, it's hers now. Those are the rules.
Did something like that happen in your last session? I could be wrong. Like, you were like, oh yeah, I'll pass the walk now, how do we get out of the house? And we were all like, but we don't want to kill him, come on now.
Yeah,
that
so
was
you
brilliant.
stabbed
I had,
him 3 times.
There was a sadistic fucking the father of a sadistic clown who was like brought back from the dead in order to keep them in a time loop inside a town where they couldn't escape, so that they could like rule the rest of the world. And the party was like, "Aww, he's trapped here too. How can we save him? He's a sadistic clown who's sitting there mocking you while eating chicken drumsticks. Don't save him. Escape."
I didn't want
okay,
to save him. I
I'm
wanted to end the time loops forever.
My character tried to end the time loop by killing this man over and over again.
Yeah, and then you were put into air jail. So you know that
Yeah,
you know I mentioned I seduced a dragon. So this dragon is now my pet, kind of like he's my Uber.
I am sorry for delaying that, and it is Sunny's turn.
Sunny, what is your least favorite part about TTRPGs, or the hardest part to deal with?
Trying to keep a party more than 3 sessions.
Okay, so
I
that's
feel
the
that.
freebie answer over. Now go for your actual answer.
Finding players to play.
I'm always there.
Okay, so that's the
every
freebie
second
answer over. Now
Sunday.
go for this.
Literally it. It's like I enjoy a lot of it. There's really little I dislike about it. That's why I play it. I like doing the research. I like coming up with ideas. I like making plans. I love it when my players enjoy my campaigns.
You also like when your players don't enjoy your campaigns.
That flash of
The only thing
inspiration you get when you're just like sitting on the bus and like a blue car drives past and you're like, oh, that gives me an idea for a boss monster. And he starts up Blue Corrigan.
Yeah, but do you guys really not enjoy my campaign? Is there anything in my campaigns you
You cut out, but no, there was nothing I hated. But we did have, like, after the first season of Ember Falls was over, we did discuss things that were, like, difficult for us to understand, or, like, improvement plans. It's not that I hated it, it was just like, sometimes, Sonny, you are frustrating for your players. And I think you like that sometimes. Especially if the person that is frustrated is called Paige. I think that's especially someone you like to see in agony. But this could just be me. Easy. What is the hardest part or your least favorite part about TTRPGs?
So my least favorite part of tabletop role-playing games is Dungeons and Dragons. Hold, wait, let me explain. Okay, so D&D 5th edition brought a lot of people into the tabletop role-playing game space, which is fantastic on the surface level, but unfortunately D&D 5th edition also kept a lot of people in D&D 5th edition, and a lot of people didn't want to explore outside of Dungeons and Dragons. So that's probably my least favorite part, is that a lot of the new people who started playing tabletop role-playing games ended up... 1 second here.
Basically, 5e became the game for normies.
Right.
Yeah. And I personally, like...
Yes.
I'm
in this picture and I don't like it.
I was scared for a second that you were like, oh, they made it mainstream, now I don't like it, but you didn't say that. I was scared you would say that. Because I hate this mindset when people say, oh, it's mainstream now it's not cool anymore. Because that is an awful mindset and everyone should get rid of it. If a lot of people start to like the things you like, then you should be happy about it, because you have maybe find new people that would be interested to talk about the things you like with you. I could never understand people that got angry that, like, anime became more mainstream. Like, why are you angry at this? Like, of course, with more people come more toxic people too, but, like, that's with everything.
Yeah. But there's also more people to talk about it.
Yeah, like, do you know how many dead communities I am because, like, no one talks about the things I like anymore? If that thing is resurfacing for some reason again, I'm always stoked. This is great. I'm always happy to have someone I can yap to for 2 hours about the thing I'm passionate about. I do that to my friends, but, like, it feels like I'm annoying them when I talk for 2 hours about something they don't care about.
Why you gotta call out Mitch like that?
That's what you said, not me.
There was a bus, and I threw someone in front of it.
Why you throw me in front of the bus, okay? I never... Yeah. I let Mitch yap to me as much as he wants, because I am very much a yapper, and I know how it is to be on the other side.
I love you both.
Okay.
Yeah, I would never state, like, something becoming popular is, like, a reason to dislike it.
I was just scared when you started the sentence. The end of the sentence was very agreeable.
No, it's just one of those situations where, like, a lot of people ended up getting into the hobby because of Dungeons and Dragons, and I love that, because I love people being willing to explore a hobby that was considered like a niche hobby situation and has become a bigger thing. The problem I have is that 5th edition, because of it being the only game that most people get into or talk about, it kind of makes a lot of the more indie RPGs, and I'm not just talking like I could say, oh, well, Pathfinder, this, that, or whatever, but Pathfinder's also like a more mainstream tabletop role-playing game. But, like, a lot of the more indie RPGs end up getting put off the wayside, or they just don't get explored, or some people will just look at it and be like, well, is it D&D? And it's like, well, no, it's not D&D. It's D&D but horror themed for like Call of Cthulhu or whatever. And then people will just shut down and go, well, it's not D&D, so I'm not interested. And
yeah,
it's
that's
like
sad.
It's one of those situations where it's like, I love D&D. Like, as I was telling Mitch earlier, I said that I'm kind of like a spurned lover when it comes to D&D, because I love D&D for like 3.0, 3.5, 4th edition even, there was some kinks here and there or whatever, and I didn't hate what 5th edition started off as. It's when they started to corporize, which is a whole other area.
Yeah, we are not touching that cesspool.
We're not touching. Yeah, I'm not touching that with that. But like, it was one of those things where it felt like D&D was no longer made for me. Basically, it was made to sell copies. And whenever I try to be like, hey, there are other tabletop role-playing games out there, because I do like playing other tabletop role-playing games, because I like to see what someone comes up with, because no system is perfect. Like, I think Mitch said it earlier, they like Pathfinder, but that's not their favorite system. Every system has its goods, it has its bads, and there's no such thing as a perfect system. You just kind of find the system that does the most of what you like out of it, And D&D brought a lot of people in,
but it isn't the system for you anymore.
Right, it's not the system for me anymore.
It's fine. Like, people change and systems change and time changes.
Right. Your likes and your dislikes all change, and what you like out of a game and stuff like that changes, and everything along those lines. But yeah, I think that's my least favorite thing about tabletop role-playing games, is that a lot of people who come into tabletop role-playing games stay in one system and then like never explore anything else.
Oh, so you're like me, because I love exploring. Good.
Right.
We can be friends. Yay. Octavia, what is the hardest part or your least favorite part about TTRPGs to you?
It's a lot of like what we just went over, people just want to play D&D, and that is obviously a big gripe, but it's also the other people, and I really, really hate to call out a certain very popular group, but the Matt Mercer effect.
I have
I fully understand what you mean.
I don't.
Like, people
understand that.
Want
this
high production value curated D&D experience, and I agree with a lot of what Matt says. Like, there's points where the rules need to be bent or broken because you just don't know a rule, or you bend the rules because it's making the experience more enjoyable for everybody else.
Now I know which one you're talking about. I was like, the name didn't ring a bell, but the context rings a bell. I know what Critical Roles, right?
Critical.
Yeah.
It is the most popular TTRPG podcast out there, and because it's so popular, and it is like literally GM'd by a professional voice actor and acted in by professional comedians and voice actors, a lot of people who haven't played D&D yet see that and think, oh, my session's going to be like that. The GM's going to have 900 voices, and every one of the players is going to bounce off me perfectly. And you're like,
I don't know.
Right.
If it's the most...
Okay, but like, if you go into a channel about knitting, are you going to immediately expect to pick up knitting and be able to do all of those complicated stitches? No.
Yeah, I don't know about it being the most popular anymore. Legends of Vantress exists now, and a lot of people like Legends.
Ask
But
any
Critical-
random
okay.
person on the street to name a D&D podcast. The ones who answer will say Critical Role.
I mean, they have their own cartoon now.
Yeah.
I think they're still.
I was gonna say one has
true.
a
It's
entire
true.
it has two entire series on Amazon
Right.
Plus.
I was trying to be funny. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
No. You can't be funny around here. What do you think we are, entertainers?
Oh no, I apologize.
Wow.
Genuinely, I thought you were being like sincere about that because I have
Nah.
not been keeping up with TTRPG podcasts for a while.
No, the only reason I mentioned Legend of Adventurous is because I like their stuff, and the animated stuff that they do for shorts is fantastic.
You broke every rib I had. God, you were
God, you were
strong.
strong back
Oh
then.
god, yeah, I know their shorts, they're great.
It's the one where you're using like the puppets, or am I thinking of something completely different?
It's the one where they're like, oh, you now can see chat and know about like the players and stuff. And he was like,
Yeah,
oh
they're-
guys, so like the chat saying hi, like, what is chat? What are you talking about?
Somebody
Hey,
send
can
me
we-
in cultural shock, so I can also.
If someone please find it for me.
But
They're kicking me out the village. Why are they kicking you out the village? Because they don't know the difference between lemons and lemon juice.
Juice.
but yeah, to get that to get back on the right sidecar, the like yeah, this like that Matt Mercer effect is a killer for a lot of games, and it
Yeah.
also just brings a lot of toxicity, and in some ways rules layers that don't know the rules because they see it on Critical Role and go, oh, that must be the rule, and then you roll for it, and then you go, oh, I did this, that means I get this. It's like, no, it doesn't.
Very valid. Mitch, what is the hardest thing or your least favorite thing about TTRPGs?
All of the above, and I would also like to take out the mirror and show it at myself because I feel that sometimes I am the problem. That is a joke. I know. Just
Oh, Mitch, that's not nice. Don't call yourself a joke like that.
yes. Anyway, all of the above.
So for me, there are like a couple things, and I just want to rant about this a little bit. So, and those are just my opinions. Please, no one crucify me for them, okay? You're allowed to have your opinion. So, especially as a player, I like when I play with someone, or like when I play in general. The story should be something that is flowing like a river on its own, and the players will follow it or will like go against it, like, and stuff like this. But like will interact with the river. But like if the story feels like a boulder you have to push constantly to move anywhere, that just like robs me of the fun, because especially as a heavy role player, I'm always the person that is pushing, and sometimes I'm the only one pushing. And so I'm getting tired. And when I'm getting tired, I don't enjoy playing anymore. That's just like one thing. Like if like in any case, like the story just like turns from a nice river into a boulder that you have to push uphill, that's awful. That is just like, this is killing it for me. Like I'm a very small person. I have very big back problems. I cannot push boulders all day. So like that's just like one thing that makes it hard for me to enjoy. And the other thing, and that is just two other things. Like I mentioned it before, but I don't like really low level things. Like especially everything before level 5. The more sessions I have at this low level, like especially for D20 systems. For other systems, it's easier to have low level stuff, but D20 systems, like and I slash, end of my turn, and I shoot, end of my turn, and I cast a spell, you miss, great, end of my turn. That thing slashes you. Like, that is boring for me. It just makes like combat for me boring. Like, I don't want the combat handed to me on a silver platter. That's not the problem. It's for me that I have no cool things I could do that could like enhance like the dramatic effects, and for the roleplay things, usually no one takes you serious. You cannot do anything because even if you have a cool backstory, like, oh yeah, like even with the cool backstory, you're just like a level 1 character. Like, no one takes you serious. You just like act like an edgy teenager, no matter how cool it is what you come up with. So like that's why like I just like it more when you have like level 4, level 5 is I think a good place, because then like things start to pick up, things start to get interesting. You can have more things you can do to express yourself and your character. And the last thing, and that is just like a personal preference. I was never really into the whole like the systems that brought like 20 books of their own lore with them. I know they're lore enjoyers, but I usually seem to enjoy more when the DMs make up the lore themselves, when there's like homebrew stuff, like, you know, like it's the story is fitted for the setting, and you took out a paper cut setting and you put it in, and then you have to put your story around the setting. Like, I like the freedom when like you're not bound to like a specific lore. You can homebrew and you can reskin things, and it's just like it feels more lively that way. And
yeah, that's a lot more fun for me. Like, as the DM, like one of my favorite streams I've ever done is when I streamed making the map of the main continent for my campaign. And as I was making it, I was just like, oh, okay, right, there's a river here. What does that mean? Like, oh, like these people are up here in the snowy area. What does that mean for their lore? And I spent about 4 hours just like creating a world that I had already created just from making a map. Just because I really enjoy building stuff.
yeah.
I want to make a small note. As a world builder, I fully agree with you. But sometimes for me, I just want to dive into like a well-established world where like I don't have to care about writing the lore for like the neighbor's daughter's wedding or stuff like that, because it's already written for me. I fully understand where you're coming from, and I am that person too. That you like it, but yeah, I also like the other.
Yeah, like that's why I say everyone has their own opinion, and I just like have this special opinion. And I don't like think people are wrong if they say they like really low level campaign. I just personally think like campaigns that are like starting at level 5, that, you know, that just faster pick up the pace and feel like an actual adventure, not just like, oh, you have to go over there. Even if you get like some real cool things happening to you, there will come just like a big bulky adventure to you that is just like 10 levels above you. And even though you just almost saved the world with whatever you did, this bulky adventure will bitch slap you across the face, and you can do nothing against it. And that is just like, that just feels like not really thematic for me. Like it breaks for me like how, like, oh, my character is so proud because she did something great, and then she gets bitch slapped by someone bigger than her, even though she just achieved greatness.
I do need for the catharsis of you, like many sessions later, coming back to that guy absolutely kicking his ass for bitch slapping you.
Yeah, but
Oh no, because while you've been off adventuring, so has he.
yeah, like that's the thing. Like, even if my character would meet this character again, like when she meeting this character again and she has the level to bitch slap him back, she probably saved the world twice now and is above him in all ways, so she doesn't even care for this petty revenge. It's just like, it just, for me, it feels like a humiliating way to just like, oh yeah, like, remember you are a baby. Like, you just did something cool, and now remember that you're still a baby, so don't think too highly of yourself. And that is just that is just something I personally don't like. Again, I'm not criticizing anyone there. It's just like my personal pet peeve.
Listen, I have done some things that I have done wrong, and not like in a to please you situation, but more in a I need to think about stuff.
Yeah. So that's just like the things that are like for me. Like I enjoy TTRPGs. I don't really care for what system I'm playing. I just want my story to be fun, and I want like the DM to provide me a story I can explore, but also destroy from time to time.
With my limited DM experience, the worst feeling in the world is crafting this giant fucking world. You finally get to play, and then you remembered you forgot one thing. What's this guy's name?
Well, that is where improv comes in. Like if and second thing, I am the note takers, and I am the best friend of every DM because I will take notes of the names that they forget, and I'm not petty with that oh, I won't tell you because that is like knowledge for the players. No. I have in front of me right now a physical book where I take notes for Amy's campaign. I'm recapping all of Mitch's campaigns since we play, and I took 0 notes of them. I'm just remembering that things.
I highly appreciate that you do that, Margaret. That means that my campaigns, even though we play them like once every 4 or 5 weeks, they stick with you, and I have to appreciate hearing that.
Yeah, like I love storytelling, so, and I like to remember things that are usually not important for my day-to-day life. So just like remembering what happens in the last D&D campaign is just like the thing for me.
I will make a small note here. I also fully hear that what you're saying about, combat and whatnot, and a thing I have learned, mainly for you guys, is that combat don't need to be challenging, it just needs to be thematic.
No, that's not it.
If you didn't notice, you fought a Kraken last session, and you ended it in one turn because I said you could. You figured out the puzzle.
Yeah, like the thing with the Kraken, and I don't say that because I want to be mean to you, but the Kraken, like, you let us meet a high-level adventurers that literally almost punched us into the ground because they thought we were bandits and we couldn't do anything because we were just walking there, and they immediately attacked us, and they put us in our place because we were level 3 characters. And then the next thing you did gave us 2 big monsters we defeated in less than 2 turns, and it didn't felt thematic, it didn't felt like we worked for it, and it felt like, oh god, so like this big guy that just punched us was stronger than the monster that we just like defeated. It felt like out of place that we defeat something really big really easy. And that is just like, it's just like you sit there and be like, okay, so we're more or less saved the world, we saved the ship, but like there's a big bug guy that can just slap us and we would probably die from it. Like
I am learning with you. I do appreciate the feedback.
Yeah.
Like the fight I did against Tiamat's armies. I gave you guys armies of your own because you're gonna need that to fight some armies. The armies didn't have a one-hit kill. They just had extra actions that you could do that enhance the combat a bit.
Yeah, so, okay. Going to the next question, I think I ranted enough. I just wanted to, like, share that, especially as a POV of a player. I don't know many things that would bug a DM, like, except for, the typical things don't find people to play with and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sonny, do you want the floor again? I think it's time.
But, like, as a player, there's just like sometimes things that are out of your power and you need to depend on your GM. And when your GM is not like delivering anything to you, you just sit there and be like, okay, I have to work for this really hard now to achieve anything. And then it's not satisfying at the end. And then it's just like not great for the players because then less players will like actually engage with anything, the less fun they got. Okay, next question. That's getting a more funny question now. Amy, what does a TTRPG need to catch your interest? Like, you hear
Um,
about a different system. What does it need to offer you that you think, maybe?
Well, you see, I want to sit here and talk about having a good rule system, having like a decent method in place for telling stories. But I've got to be entirely honest here. The two TTRPGs that I have immediately seen and gone, I want to play that, are Glitter Hearts and Thirsty Sword Lesbians. So what a TTRPG needs to hook me specifically is tits and lesbians. Preferably both, either will do.
I don't mean to interrupt here, but it's getting really late for me and I need to be awake in like 6 hours or so.
Okay, then
So-
how about I will do with you something called the quick round. We will go through all the rest of the question and you give us the answers.
Yeah.
Okay. What does a TTRPG need to catch your interest?
And basically anything Warhammer and slash Warhammer, either really dense or really light rules.
Okay. What is your favorite setting? Like, like fantasy, mech.
Warhammer, the Pathfinder universe, and World of Darkness.
Okay. Share your most favorite TTRPG moment?
I will leave that up to you and Amy because I do not remember everything that happened in this campaign, but you guys maybe do.
Okay.
Actually, no. It was Alexander jumping from the building.
With
Really?
the Alexander-shaped hole at the bottom?
Yes.
I'd have put money on you diving into the maw of Tiamat as she approached.
I mean, okay, that is a close second, but that's also like, oh yeah, I'm going to die next to watching a Blake of Fury. That is not a, oh yeah, I jumped out of the building, I may die, I may not, who cares?
Okay.
Because jumping out of the building was something young Alexander would do.
And he had fun with it, and he left an imprint on Pancake Island. Literally.
We call this section, hey DM, do you know the rules for fall damage?
Yeah, literally, I actually looked it up like during that phone. And I think, if I remember correctly, Alexander had like 6 hit points left after the phone.
Oh yeah, you took a good chunk of hit points, of fall damage.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make a tiny again.
That's
but
fine.
Yeah, the jumping down from a building.
Very, very peak moment. Last question. If you could experience a TTRPG setting with all its powers, which one would you like to be in or make real?
The Pathfinder one. Sunny and yeah, these guys would know. Like, it's very gay. It's very like surprisingly also fun to read about.
Okay. Those were all the questions. Thank you so much for staying with us. Have a good rest. Have a good rest of your evening and a good night.
It has been an absolute pleasure. All of you are absolutely adorable. Good night.
Yeah. If you want to check out what Mitch is doing, next Saturday, he will run our Pathfinder campaign for us. So how about you check that out?
Yeah. Good night.
Bye bye. Okay, Sunny. What does a TTRPG need to have to catch your interest?
Usually lore.
That sounds cool.
Like if I know, like if I have if it shows a setting I'm familiar with, or I can really give me some lore I can work with.
Mm-hmm.
I usually get what gets me interested in it.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Easy.
So to catch my interest on a tabletop role-playing game, honestly, don't have to have much. Have an interesting premise or an interesting like concept, or interesting lore or something along those lines. I'm pretty simple when it comes to like what catches my interest when it comes to tabletop role-playing games. Like, if you can convince me that your game is worth playing, then I'll check it out.
I will remind that if I ever make one myself. I had the plan. I started working on it and then I gave up because it was a lot of work and I didn't want. Thanks for bonking me, Uwu. We're talking about you earlier. Octavia. And Lucy, welcome to chat.
Like honestly, just like a premise or like something that I'm already interested in. Like I want to play Bunkers and Badasses because I love Borderlands. I want to play, Godbound because I'm into Norse mythology and Greek mythology and stuff like that. I'm usually like similar premise. I love Pathfinder because it's high fantasy. I love D&D because it's high fantasy. Starfinder because it's science fantasy. I love that stuff.
Cool. Lucy, thank you so much for the follow. You also redeemed it. I'm sorry, I didn't turn off my redeems. How are things going? We're talking about GMing and playing, and we're all nerds, so you can imagine how things are going. We're having a blast, right, guys? You're having a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For me,
roll for enjoyment.
Also sorry for the Yamete Kudasai. That is my fancy this is my fancy notification. But for some reason it's still active here and I don't know how to change that. So right now it's just this notification. How long have I been into D&D? 3 years, because I've started playing D&D with Amy 3 years ago, and now I'm playing a lot of other different systems, like Pathfinder, and Monster of the Week, and hopefully soon Fate and Glitterheart again. For me, what a tabletop RPG needs to catch my interest? Magic. Magic is the only thing I cannot achieve in real life. Like, yes, of course, I also cannot become a robot in real life, but, like, magic. It's the one thing I desire the most in real life, and I would probably sell my soul for it if I could get it. Because why would I need a soul? I don't know what happens after my death, but if I get magic and a couple 100 years longer to live to experience it, who needs a soul? So
that monkey's paw would curl so fucking hard.
I have no clue what would happen to me. I'm not really a religious person or anything. I just know I want magic in my life because that's the only thing I truly desire. I'm an asexual, I don't desire a lot of things except for like cake and garlic bread and fun hobbies. But the thing I would probably desire more than a lifelong partner is having magical powers. If a TTRPG can give me magical powers in any way, and I can experiment with them and can have fun with them, and I can be something magical and whimsical, or an absolute chaos gremlin, or both, then of course I want to be that. So yeah, I played Wrath and Glory, and it was fun to have it be a nurse with a chainsaw that would make warrior cries. But the magic, I will play that for a couple sessions, but if a thing can give me magic, then sign me the fuck up for it.
The asexual trinity: garlic bread, cake, the dismantling of the government.
Do I play with my OCs? Not with this, not my streaming OC, even though that will be... No, I did once, more or less. But yeah, I have a bunch of OCs. Right now, my absolute baby girl that actually is getting animatics in the near future, check out my TikTok because you probably find them there and on YouTube, is Evelyn, my asexual succubus thief. I don't have a TikTok redeem yet, I need to do that, Amy. But thanks for reminding me. I love Evelyn. She is my absolute baby. She's my queen. She is everything that people should desire because she is funny and she is gremlin energy and she is not a good person. I am a very good person, if I say so myself. I'm a very goody two-shoe. I'm always following the rules and stuff. Evelyn is nothing like this. She was about to burn down a forest that was the size of a metropolis, just because she didn't want to venture in and find the monster. She was just like, if we burn down everything, we will find it eventually. That's Evelyn to you. She's pretty. She knows that she's pretty, and she can mess with your mind, and that is just really fun. So yeah, I play with my OCs. I have art for every OC I ever played because I'm an artist and I will sell those prints. But Evelyn, just she got the baby girl privileges. She has the most art of. Even though I didn't play like for type. If we look at how long I played a character, Lulu got also a baby girl privileges. She got art of herself. Boo Boo got art of like her plushie got art. Her plushie is now on a t-shirt, by the way. Sonny, I hope that makes you kind of happy. I have a Boo Boo t-shirt now. Everyone has a Boo Boo t-shirt now. I also have
a Boo Boo t-shirt now.
Yeah, I gifted Amy one. And Lulu gets like a new art soon. But like from the time I spent playing with a character, Evelyn probably is just like maybe second, like with the time that I spent with her, and she got the majority of all my art. It's just all sexy succubus. I maybe have a type.
She's just so marketable.
She is so marketable, yes. Look at her. She's pink and black. She's kind of goth and kind of edgy and kind of, like everything you want. She has tits. You know what most people want on an anime convention? Tits. And she has that. She has enough of that. I really should cosplay Evelyn again. I don't have the tits that Evelyn has, but I have her outfit. Okay, going back to the questions. Amy, what is your favorite setting? Like fantasy, tech, mech, war, whatever. What is your favorite setting?
I'm generally more of a fan of the high fantasy stuff. I do want to dip my toes into sci-fi. That's why I'm excited for like Starfinder to come out at basically the exact same time that level 20 campaign will end. Because I want to like see what I can do in that setting. But I think like fantasy and like high fantasy and modern fantasy are just settings that I can slip into a lot easier because that's like what I'm used to writing.
Yeah. Sunny, what's your favorite setting?
I'm not quite sure. Like, if I just the run-in, or if I could live in it.
That's not the living in question. Just like in general, like what usually is like the one you'd like the most. You could also separate and give two answers. Like you guys are free to answer more things. Eden says
Whichever
modern
one
fantasy.
I can tell a better story in.
That makes a lot of sense for you being a forever DM. Sunny, when was the last time you were actually a player?
Shoot.
Placeholders?
Yeah.
Placeholders? Yeah.
Do you enjoy being a player, or is like being a DDM, this was like your calling?
Well, I like being a player. I love making fun characters, unique characters, extremely powerful characters, and the min-maxer. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you also played in Paige's campaign and completely broke her lore system because it was in America, and you pulled out your American Karen mood.
It's like, how do you defeat the police? The police are here. Okay. I plan to defeat them. How do you plan to defeat them? Knowing my rights.
Eden says, Modern Fantasy for the win. I agree with you, Eden. Like, Modern Fantasy is really fun. I will come back to this later. Easy, what is your favorite setting? Hello? Did I miss that someone got AFK?
What happened?
Easy?
Oh, I'm here.
Good.
I apologize.
What
I
is
didn't hear my name.
What is your favorite setting? Like high fantasy, mech stuff.
Okay, so
Speaking of
more like
AFK, I'm gonna
more like
yeah,
genre.
Yeah, like for like when you play or when you DM, like what is like your go-to thing that you enjoy the most?
Well, I mean, like most of my stuff is high fantasy, but like honestly, the campaign settings I think I have the most fun with, like conceptually are like dark fantasy / horror Wild West kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's something about cowboys going versus demons and zombies and Cthulhian monsters that just sounds like it'd be a fun time to run around in.
Yeah, I agree. Also, Sonny, I just scrolled a little bit through the talk show chat because I look at the questions. I usually don't see what you guys post. But Princess the Hopeful, a storytelling game of fighting fears. Why did you add me for that? Like, I know this is up my alley completely, but why you add me like this? That was a very big call out here, you know?
You know what's even funnier? That's a World of Darkness supplement.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
That is World of Darkness was what exactly? Like, I heard it a lot today, but I actually don't know what it is.
It's the setting that Vampire the Masquerade is set in.
Ah, thank you. That is really cool. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, TTRPGs are just cool. Like, that thing, I didn't know it existed, and now I know it exists. That's why I have talk shows like this. So you guys tell me cool things I didn't know yet. Octavia, what is your favorite setting?
Definitely like science fantasy. Though I'm also a pretty big fan of like, you know, like old fantasy. Like I've said before. Like if I can put a setting in like, you know, like a Greek-esque environment, I will do it.
Yeah. Like mythology, like bringing in mythology into TTRPGs is just like so fun. I'm just looking over at Hades and Apollo, 2 canon gods I made in Amy's campaign.
That's why I want to play Godbound so bad.
For me, it's definitely like everything that has to do with fantasy, modern fantasy, but high fantasy. I'm not too big into tech, but I really enjoy fantasy settings that have magic tech. You know, like if the world has magic and they, you know, evolve with the magic together. Technology also will be a thing, but like it will be, you know, relying on magic and stuff. So I really like this kind of magic tech setting of just like still having like trains and stuff, but like now it's magic power. I just think it's always so cool to like think about what magical gadgets you could have in a very like modern world that always knew how to use magic.
There was this campaign that I was running. It only went one session before it fell apart, but it was, I had this whole island area, and it was set in like a fantasy 1960s.
That sounds cool.
I really want to run that one again, but I can, like, last time it fell apart so bad that it was kind of a big, you know, discouraging thing. And it was just scheduling, you know.
It was just it was a scheduling issue. How many players did you have?
Just a standard 4 players, 1 DM.
Okay. Definitely like still like keep the story around, like take a couple of notes, like, you know, like so you can avoid being nervous about not knowing what to say. And if those players doesn't work anymore, like I don't want to like to tell it to say go to Amy's servers. You probably find people that would be interested too, but yeah, kind of like Amy surrounded herself with a bunch of D&D players, and not D&D players, but with TTRPG players. So just
I have a Maho right here.
Yeah, keep that dream around, and like you will find players again. I have the feeling it's harder to find a GM than finding players nowadays.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
So
that goes back into the whole, like, you know, D&D bringing everyone in, but no one wants to be the DM.
So yeah, for me definitely like everything that has to do with fantasy. Again, like I'm a big sucker for magic and everything that has to do with it. So a setting that can give me magical and whimsical things or a pet dragon, like, are definitely things I'm interested in. Why am I so obsessed with dragons? I'm asexual. It's set by law that I have to be obsessed with dragons. And again, I got in Amy's campaign a pet dragon. Like, I'm also really obsessed with angels and demons. I just really like those mythical stuff. It's just like, it presses all the right buttons in my brain, and I get all giggly over it.
Indeed.
Okay, let's go to the answers where you guys can like ramble, truly ramble. Amy, do you want to go first with your favorite TTRPG moment? Or do you want to keep that for later? Do you need to think for a moment? Because you have been playing for 3 years and more.
I'm the DM. I'm not allowed to pick favorites.
Well, you also played in the in other campaigns, like Pathfinder and Monster of the Week. You were a player, and you can still pick favorite moments. Like, it doesn't need to be a favorite character. It can be like, yeah, like, thinking back, I really liked how I tortured my players over there because I have a fourth wall breaking clown.
Yes, I am so happy with what happened with Wally eventually. So basically, I had like a mini boss essentially that I gave the players at level 4, and they started mocking him. So I just like off the cuff gave him the ability to break the fourth wall and mock the players directly. And the players kept mocking him, and then they killed him.
No, we didn't kill him. That is the fun. Did we kill him? I'm pretty. Oh yeah, he escaped though. But like.
No. You killed him. He's a lich.
Ah, I see. We killed him more than once. The fun. I was not part of this at the beginning. They called him Hot Topic Guy, just so you know what she means with mocked him. And then, like, I was in the campaign and we met him again, and they bullied him so much that he didn't want to leave his room. And I was sure his real name was Hot Topic Guy because I didn't know his real name and I was not there from the beginning. Okay, you may continue.
You know, the funny thing about that is I don't know his real name. He had a name before he was Hot Topic Guy. And then they call him Hot Topic Guy so often that I forgot what his actual name was. But yeah, like, because he's a lich, he resurrected off camera. And I brought him back later on as, like, the big bad of the entire campaign. Except this time, the party was level 16. And when I gave him the ability to break the fourth wall at level 4, it was a neat little trick. But I realized that as a level 16 enemy, the ability to break the fourth wall gives him things like access to the DM's notes, control over the rolls that he makes. And just that realization, I think, was like one of my favorite moments as a game master. When I realized how much power I had with this character and how unique he was.
Could you do his voice, please? His voice and the customer service lady both send shivers down my spine.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to note the customer service lady as another one of my favorite points. Do you really think it's a good idea to summon me here, though, darling?
No, leave again.
I'm not even within the confines of the tabletop right now.
And imagine your enemy is talking like this to you and mocking you, the person on the table, and you have nothing you can do against him because your character you're playing is too weak to do anything against him. And you are living in a different country, so you cannot bitch slap Amy to do anything against him. And you just sit there and be like... And Amy did the perfect amount of horror, that's why I brought it up again. You know, like, a Call of Cthulhu campaign needs to be scary, right? So what did Amy do? She did the only thing that would scare the entire table so badly that we were really afraid. It was a customer support lady.
Customer service.
The customer service lady with her upbeat, voice and her fake smile was enough to give us all shivers.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Wacky Wally's World of Wonder. How can I help you?
That's scarier than
Anything at all.
It's scarier than every flesh golem she ever put in front of me. She killed an entire island and turned everyone that died into a giant pile of dead alive flesh that was consuming other people. Not scary, not really. That voice? I can't
The trick is to make the smile audible. My cheeks out, I need to stop.
I'm hugging myself, this is scary. Okay, sorry, I very much ad-libbed like what your favorite moments were, just like what I really enjoyed.
No, I mean, that goes into it perfectly, because genuinely the moments that I enjoy the most as a DM are the moments that, like, catch my players off guard. You know, the ones that the players say, hey, do you remember when you did that customer service lady voice? I'm just like, yes, that is now a memorable moment to me because I know what I intended for that scene landed. That is the best thing you can do for me as a DM, is to tell me what I did well as a DM. Because then I can do it more. So you guys want more customer service voice, right?
Customer service of nightmare. Like that's what I like as a player. I highly appreciate. I hate Wally. I hate Wally with burning passion. Like I have multiple conversations with Amy where she has to walk the very thin path of not telling me everything, while I'm just like brainstorming a little bit to myself of what I can do to strangle this fucking clown and make sure he doesn't stand up again.
Yeah, like one of my absolute favorite things when I'm DMing is that moment where you know you've done it right, because all of the players either audibly gas or say, "No, fuck you, what?"
Oh yeah, Amy achieved, complete distrust at the moment. Like, we barely trust anything she says because we don't know when Wally has, access to mess with us. I know when to trust her and when not, so I'm making sure the party is listening to her when there is time she gives us actual hints to help us. But yeah, there's general distrust. She did such a good job with her villain that now we're afraid of her.
Yeah, I played my big bad evil guy so well that my players now have a group chat that I'm not allowed in.
We also established code words and everything just to be sure, yeah. Sunny, what is your favorite TTRPG moment? What moment are you remembering fondly? Not because your player had fun, but because you had fun.
When I was playing Amber Falls with my other team.
Yeah?
Oh, it's okay. We won't cry. Carry on.
And I introduced them to the troll who was guarding the
port of
guarding the third entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sunny,
Sunny, stop for a second. Your mic is awful.
You sounded very far away just now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Continue.
All right. So I was playing with another group in Amber Falls. It was before you guys, and
it was before I met you. I swear. I'm sorry.
And they came upon the troll, and so the troll asked, "May I have your names?" And almost every single one of them fell for it.
What, did they die? Like, you told us multiple stories about your previous players. Did they die? Was that the thing?
Nope. They realized it halfway through that it was a bad idea. So they managed to finagle their way to get their names back. Basically agreeing to the troll's term.
What was the
I
troll
see.
story?
So they got out of the mistake of giving their names to a fae by making a deal with a fae.
Yes.
Did that bite them in their ass? Was the terms of the troll bad? Oh, that
No.
that
I don't
sounds
remember
like
much about it. I don't remember much afterwards.
it was just the moment that they all fell for it. That is a very memorable moment. Like I'm pretty sure, like the moment
Good
they
old
all told their
gotchas,
name.
yeah.
I think I can imagine just Sunny sitting there. They all say their name, and suddenly Sunny starts to laugh maniacally over the fact that they all fell for it.
There was also I forgot to mention this. I also did the Star Trek TTRPG. I had some fun moments. So I think another one of my favorite moments is I was doing the Kingdom Builder campaign, and they were going through a mountain. My players were going along a mountain, and a blizzard hit. And throughout the blizzard, they were being stalked by a drake who would come in, hit them, then retreat.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun.
They probably hated you after this. At least.
Oh, they hated it. They hated it in a loving way because they
Yeah.
did manage to find. Basically, what it was basically they were just sitting there being indecisive and arguing. I'm like, okay, you guys need to push forward. There is a blizzard and you're being hunted by a predator.
It is
Well,
very cool.
Well, they did make a decision real quick. Then there was. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting nostalgic for games I played. I was playing with that group. I was playing Raji, and he had basically went into the city, and he had, in the course of a week, become one of the major players of the city. But I'm thinking more about it. But yeah, stuff like
Yeah. You like when you tortured your players and you got a good gotcha moment out of them.
Yeah.
The gotchas are one of the best moments of the
And what's funny, of course, is the most moments I like are not the moments I do. It's when my players basically overcome my bullshit. Those are my favorite times.
Yeah. We love your bullshit, Sonny.
Yeah. I know.
Easy. What was your favorite TTRPG moment?
There's a lot of them, honestly. There's a lot of good ones that are there. I think my top two, though, are one as a player and then one as a game master. So, for player, one of my favorite things to do is I play a character named Krondor, who is a half-orc ranger. And it started off as a D&D 5th edition character because of people playing it at the time, and he's kind of evolved from there. But basically, his backstory is that he was raised by his full orc father, who is an orc pirate, and he was always taught that basically, in order to prove that you are strong, you have to be stronger than the other person. Like, power means everything. So what he does is that every time that he is introduced to a party, he looks for whoever the strongest person is and challenges them to a fist fight. And if he wins, he declares himself party leader. If he fails, he declares the other person party leader and says that he will be forever faithful to them. And
That's such a neat character. I am stealing him.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's what he does. He goes and that's his philosophy on things. And either, if he wins, he basically, wants people to be loyal to him. Like, basically, he treats everything like kind of like a crew situation, where basically he wants to be loyal or for there to be loyalty. But he's a fun character to play. He also speaks. He has a decent intelligence, but he speaks in third person because he believes that if he speaks in third person, people will take him as less smart based on appearances. So he uses that to his advantage, basically. He appears to look more dumb and brutish than he actually is. So instead of saying, like, I will do this, he'll be like, Krondor thinks that we should do more important things.
That is really cool. Like I really like the, you know, the dumb character that are actually smart and the smart character that are actually dumb kind of tropes. Like just like you have like the character definitely gives you a vibe, but they like subvert your expectations you have with them. It's like always fun to have this like gotcha moment of like, oh, like you think this character is like this, but actually this character could say something really cool right now that you didn't expect. Like that's something really, really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoy playing him. Anytime that he's joined a party, it's always been a fun time. So, but as for a game master situation, I think we kind of discussed this a little earlier, like moving the story forward and having players be interactive with the story. And my thing is that I actually really enjoy it, kind of like how I had mentioned Legend of Adventurous earlier, but that was a noise. But basically, I like it when players will add a little bit. So, like, for example, I was in the middle of a campaign. I had introduced this this captain, and all I had said was he's a guard captain. He has full plate armor on, and he looks to be a dwarf, right? And one of my players was like, "Oh, we're in trouble. We're getting in big trouble because we have this thing that we stole or whatever." And he kind of looks over and he's like, "Oh, is this the dwarf captain with one eye who I've heard such grand stories about?" And I was like,
"It is now."
Hold on. Roll me a deception check. And then, like, they rolled a deception check, and it was a nat 20, and I was like, he removes his helmet to show that he has one eye. He's like, "You've heard of me." And I'm like, I have decided that if you are going to bring something into reality like that, I'm gonna let it be. Like, it's gonna happen now. This character is now the one-eyed dwarf hero that you're talking about. So I like it when players will be a little bit more like story shaping, because a lot of it is on the game master side, but like having a player bring something into existence and roll it into existence honestly makes it just that much more exciting. That builds a world.
It's a more
together.
Involved and more satisfying experience.
Exactly, especially for characters that don't, like, you know, if I failed to give you a character description, and you're like, guess what? Character description. Yeah, let's build a world together. Let's go. That's what we're here to do.
That sounds.
Those are probably my favorite tabletop role-playing moments.
Yeah, Octavia, what's with you?
We take those. So I have two. One's short and funny, and one's like, you know, genuine moment. So there's the time where I got piloting for free. So we
Okay.
were in like this, we were exploring this like abandoned facility of this like long forgotten like you know, ancient people before like a calamity hit and, you know, technology and stuff was lost. Some real Breath of the Wild type beat. and we had, you know, been fighting some people that were, you know, in the caves, some like goblins, and we fought a gaunt at one point, and what ended up happening is we found ourselves in this contraption. To keep in mind, my character was a robot made by this ancient race. I was in a museum, and the party found me.
That's pretty great.
And you know, I had found like this steering wheel type thing, and my DM was like, oh, roll a just a straight d20 to no, sorry, roll a d20 for history, I think it was, to see what it is. It was either it was either history or insight, but it didn't matter. I rolled a nat 20 and start this like straight out of like Treasure Planet ship, and to start flying. It's like, you have piloting now.
Well, that's a W.
I do enjoy when the dice just tell a story. Well, actually, that's fucking one moment I could have mentioned. It's just like a fucking part I absolutely loved as a player. I was playing a warlock with a greatsword, and no matter how many times I tried, and no matter how many levels I put into warlock, she literally never hit once with any spell. But the first time I swung the greatsword, I nat 20'd it. And completely in the inverse, every single time I used the greatsword, I never missed. So that was just the point where, like, I think she was a what was the Pact of the Blade warlock called?
Hexblade.
Hexblade or something like that.
Hexblade, yeah, she was a Hexblade warlock, and I just like leaned into the blade part of the Hexblade with this great sword, and that was just like, this is my character now. I can't hit for shit.
This is what
But my god, you would better fear for your kneecaps.
I think this is it now. This is how the character plays. This is how it is. You know, this was not my original intention, but you know what? We roll with it. We go.
Welcome to the table, Melody. Enjoy your great sword. You clearly like it more than I do.
Yeah, when you mentioned the ancient civilization and technology being lost, it reminded me of that popular fan theory that Aladdin takes place like 10,000 years in the future or whatever. Like, does anybody know what I'm referencing?
I know what you're referencing.
Yeah.
It's the Disney theory or whatever, and
Yeah,
that's trying to like
Disney
timeline,
theory.
like all the Disney movies take place. It's the same as the Pixar theory, but for Disney.
Right.
It's just they all take place in the same universe, and like, I guess like
Well, it's
somehow
because the reason behind it was that like Genie was like pulling out references to like actors and stuff like that exist in the modern age, but
right.
he said that he was trapped in a lamp for 10,000 years. It's like, wait, how do you know this if you've been trapped for 10,000? Oh my.
Yeah, except that theory completely throws out the very thing of just like, he's omnipotent. He knows
Right.
all. He knows
Right.
what's going to happen. He knows what has already happened.
Yeah,
It was just a neat little theory that I was like,
yeah, it's similar to
Just a
the
theory.
it's
A
similar
game
to
theory.
yeah, it's a similar to theory
That's
to
what-
Totoro is the god of death and the two children are already dead theory. You know, like
Indeed.
it's definitely a theory.
But
Also, snack has
getting-
been consumed, eaten.
Indeed. But getting back, the short and sweet story was playing Final Fantasy D20, which is a reworking of Pathfinder First Edition, in case you're wondering.
yep.
I want to call it a supplement, but it changes a
It does
lot of the
change
base
base.
rules.
Yeah, I
yeah.
did some of the base rules significantly.
Yeah. So there is we were playing that. I was rolling great all night. We were infiltrating this like Shinra-esque building, and I was just rolling great. And then the one time I rolled bad was the last combat of the night. We were fighting this ooze creature, and I rolled bad on initiative. I'm like, oh, I guess this is where my bad luck starts. And then I rolled back bad on attack. No one had been able to hit this thing, and we were rolling like 13, 14s, 15s. Someone hit a nat 20 and it missed. And then we were like, oh, what happened? Well, how did a nat 20 miss? And then I rolled terribly. It used reverse AC.
That yesterday.
I did that literally last session. That was so my players like absolutely love doors, right? Door puzzles are one of my favorite things to use. And one of my players, for a joke, just like prestidigitated the door so that it turned upside down. So I decided, okay, this is now a door puzzle. And one of the players was like, no, the fuck it's not. I rolled to break down the door. And they got a 32 and it missed. So they tried again. They got a 28 and it missed. They tried again. They got a 34 and it missed. And then Evelyn just came and just tapped it. Got a 3 and it hit.
Yeah, so
I was like, the door's upside down now, so its AC is flipped.
So the thing about this was the door got flipped. The first person attacked it, and it was a 32. It missed, and I was like, oh god, I understand it. But then other people wanted to attack it, so I let them attack it. So I'm playing a warlock multi-class into other casters. And I went to the door and used an unarmed strike with like a -1 in strength or something like this. And of course I rolled really low because I knew that the AC was flipped. I was certain that the low AC would probably work. So I was like, okay, what is the lowest thing I can do? Unarmed strike. Yeah, Evelyn can do jack shit with her noodle arms. And I described it as that she just like went up to the door that just withstand cannon fire and laser beams, and she just like made like a kick with her heels against it. And Amy said, and the door blasts open with the strength of the war machine fire that just was fired at it. And she just turns around to the group like, there you go. Was that easy? Can we now go in?
I'm the strongest.
She is such a bitch. I will describe Evelyn every time I describe her. She's a bitch. Like she's living on being a controversial person. She has no
her
morals.
name is Evelyn.
Yeah, like I literally called her Evil Lynn. Like that was like, this is literally a pun in her name, and most people write her name wrong because they were like, oh, like called Evelyn, it's written like this. No, it's written like the pun with evil in it. She is a succubus that is, instead of sleeping with people, she taught herself a technique to consume life energy by a simple kiss and even by a hug. So what does she do? She lets people summon her in the past, or like goes to people that are rich. They all promise them an unforgettable night. She's not lying. Hugs them, maybe gives them a kiss, and then knocks them unconscious, robs them, leaves a note, thanks for the tip, sweetheart, and dips. And she's a wanted criminal in multiple countries because that's just the thing she does. She has like her absolute best friend hates her. They think like every time they think about her, they remember like the amount of like, money that she spent with their credit card, the important documents she just stole and then just like pulled out again, the amount of chaos she caused by like bringing some merchants in the city, just like some stolen goods, and resells them. Like she doesn't value friendships on like how much their friends love her back. She values friendships on people that she just likes hanging out with. And, you know, like, if they like her back, that's just like a bonus to her. Like, most of the people she likes don't like her, and she's completely fine with this. Of course she likes it when someone likes her back, but, you know, they don't need to like her back. She has an entire lair filled with old tombs and shiny things. Enough jewelry and gold to convince a dragon to, you know, become like her Uber. In exchange for, he has, you know, he can have the lair with all the gold, and he can play with her little gems, and she can call him when she needs an Uber. That's the relationship, the symbiosis she has. So I think that is always funny. So the reverse door thing was just like her being like, okay guys, okay, like step aside. The weakest character comes around. She's the most useless in combat, by the way, too. She's very much a support that doesn't like to support. She goes up, she kicks the door slightly, the door springs open, and she has the most smuggest expression that you can imagine. Like, everyone would probably wanted to slap her for it, but she was just very happy that she opened the door, and they all couldn't do it because they're little dum-dums. They didn't saw the great trick. We ignored the fact that we were stuck on a puzzle for over an hour just before that. Sorry, Octavia, I had to go on a rant.
No, I was done, so I was figuring like it was like, oh, this is the tangent now before the next topic.
All I'm gonna say in regards to doors is one of my favorite things about doors. Every now and then, when a player has decided they're going to kick down every single door that you put up, door mimics exist, and they are fun to use. Nothing like going to kick in a door and then it gets...
Wait, you have a mender bug?
That reminds me of Catan.
Yeah. No, I love it when I have someone who's like, I'm gonna bust down the door. I'm gonna bust down the door. I'm gonna bust down the door. So, all right, so you go to bust down the door. How are you doing it? Oh, shoulder first. Okay, so shoulder first. All right. So you go shoulder first into the door, and you get stomped. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna try again. You can't. Why can't I? Well, your shoulder's stuck. What do you mean my shoulder's stuck? Well, it's like your shoulder's like glued to the door, and you can see, you know, what looks to be some sort of saliva or something on the door.
Is it a mimic?
Teeth? Yes, exactly. You just make door mimics. You just make door mimics, and that'll stop a player right there from busting down doors.
I don't know.
remember.
Okay, go for it.
I remember in one of my like one of my favorite little funny things to do in my false Hydra campaigns is like, all right, you come to the tavern. Okay, I would like to open the door. How do you open the door? I pull it. The door doesn't open. I push it. There you go. The door opens.
Yeah, Sunny likes to just like, oh, the door doesn't open, and then people panic. And then you have the players that are like on Amy's side that just, you know, force the door open. And you have the person that's just like, I push it. Oh, congratulations, you opened the door. Like, she said that to me. When she doesn't know what to do, she puts us in front of the door, and then she has half an hour to figure out what happens next.
Wonderful. I don't even need to come up with door puzzles. The players do it themselves. I just put them in a room with a door. I try the door. Okay, the door is locked. Alright, what's in the room? There's a desk, a chair, and a drawer. Must be something about the chair. Are there any runes on the chair? Like, no, the solution was in the drawer. Okay, there are 4 runes on the chair. This was clearly the study of a sorcerer.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, when I try to think of, like, my favorite moments, I have, like, a couple ones. I will try to keep it short, but, like, it has often to do with just, like, the characters I'm playing and just having fun with the character. Like, for example, before Evelyn, I was playing a princess. Just because I just thought it would be really nice that my princess would meet Princess Emilia Starlight, the NPC of Amy. For this moment to never happen and happen off camera, and I never got the interactions of two princesses, what I wanted. So she was a fighter, a dex fighter that was an arcane knight. So, and we were like level 15, around 16. And this was like the time where actually win-max builds were necessary. So what did the players do? On the day where Amy was on a convention, we still hosted and live streamed the campaign where they did a training session with my character. Where we, you know, like beforehand, we just like scrambled around like a lot of like abilities and stuff. They gave me some better gear, but we like phrased it like a training session. And the person that was training me was our slime man that has also a giant robot most of the time. And he gave me like this training robot to fight. And on one moment, I knew like every time I went down or went outside of the fighting area, the fight would reset. So I knew I was like going out and I couldn't win this round. So what did I do? This was like on top of a pool, like the pool was like closed off and we were standing on top of it, but there was like still the springboard. So I was like, okay, you know what I want to do? I want to spring on top of the robot. I got yeeted shortly afterwards and grappled. But this was the really fun of just like me, like I knew I couldn't win this round and I had to approach this differently. Like they taught me how to fight with a fighter because I was always a magic user beforehand. So they had to teach me how to deal with a fighter. And I knew I couldn't do it and I need a different approach. So I just thought, okay, let's make this funny. I would jump on the robot. The robot grapples you. Okay, I will try to deal with the robot. Yeah, he yeets you away. Like, well, I tried. It was...
An attempt was made.
It was really fun, especially because, again, I am very much of a magic class. I will only play a class if there's a magic option. That's why I was an arcane fighter. I got kidnapped by a demon that stole one of my angel's halo, and then he had the audacity to strap me on a chair and then use the halo to punch me in the face. That was certainly a thing. Amy was like, okay, like how awful am I allowed to treat your character? Like you can mistreat her as much as you want. I want the mental trauma for her. And then Amy was like, okay, take that personally now. So the next scene was like her like being strapped to the Made in Abyss chair, like broke both of her legs. It was...
I think that was one of my first experiences of how much more fun it is to torture the players than it is to torture the characters. Because Maho was like, I want this scene to break Dina. And I was like, challenge accepted. I'm going to break Maho. You walk into the room and see the chair from Made in Abyss.
Yeah, and as someone that watched Made in Abyss, I already had trauma flashbacks. That was like really, like, I really liked the scene because like it showed how helpless Dina is without like support and how lost she was. And like her friend saving her was a neat little thing. So I really like that bit. And one thing that is not from a D&D campaign, and you guys would probably appreciate that more. So a Pathfinder campaign. I'm playing a kineticist, and I'm playing playing a strings with the Infreed, like heritage, or in other words, I'm playing a Phoenix Harpy that is obsessed with knowledge and books, but has also ADHD and is an arsonist. This character is just like a constant chaos gremlin that is a mood. So you can and also she's apparently a lesbian. She didn't know it until she met a fish princess, and then we had that roasted chicken with sashimi.
I'm still annoyed I've not been able to use the sewer spaghetti until it gets wet line. Especially since she's a water kineticist.
Yeah, so this is just fun. Like, Soleil is just like, she's hyperactive, but the moment she loses interest in something, she's just like walking away from it. She's like, oh my god, it's so interesting, tell me more about it. Okay, yeah, anyway, so about this book I read, like, she's not shutting up. Her first solution to almost everything is arson, but if you harm a book, she probably will claw your eyes out. And that's just really funny, especially because she's constantly on fire. Not hot fire, though. And she was nicknamed by some of the guards Rotisserie Chicken and Chicken Nugget. And since then, this is a running joke that she's the chicken nugget of the group. Because burb.
Chicken nugget.
And the last thing...
By a burb, you open yourself up to the chicken jokes. I'm sorry, those are the rules.
Yeah, like that's what I wanted. Like, it's really funny to be with her. And now the last thing, and this is just like for you guys to enjoy. So I played in a very morally wrong campaign with Mitch, Pathfinder. You're in prison because you did the crime, and you have to fight in an arena to get out of it or sit down your sentence. And I made a kobold girl, and this is how she introduced herself.
Oh, hello. It's really nice to meet you. So I don't really know why I'm here because like I didn't commit a crime, you know? Like I went down that alleyway. And then I stumbled upon this dead man, and like I really didn't stab him. Like no. Like and then I was just like looking for his wallet to find out like who he is. Like I don't really know what to do with a dead person, and yeah, and then I was like caught, and I thought that I was stealing from him, but I really didn't kill him. Like why would I stab someone 37 times to get in their wallet, right? Like. Do you think?
How did you know he was stabbed 37 times?
Exactly. Like she certainly murdered that man. She is an absolute psychopath, and there was like in the arena there were like wolves, and she was a caster, so she was a distant. One wolf came closer to her, and as all of you play Pathfinder, you definitely know this spell, Glass Shield. And that was the spell she had activated around her. So the wolf bit down on her arm. But because of Glass Shield, the shield shattered and, stabbed the wolf's mouth, made him choke on the glass and blood. And she was looking at the gurgling wolf on her arm, was like,
bad doggy, you really shouldn't have done this. Like, really? Like, that's your own fault now. Like, that's what happens if you're a bad boy.
This little bitch is an absolute psychopath that got kicked out of her kobold cuddle puddle because she was even too weird for them. That speaks a lot for kobold terms. So she was like making a living for herself. She was a fortune teller. In other words, she was scamming people. And every time someone was mean to her, she was telling them about like a great fortune they find somewhere in an alleyway. And then she was just waiting in the alleyway and just murder them. This time she was just caught. And it's just really like because she had this uwu voice. I love this uwu voice now. Like I would probably have characters with this exact voice again because it's so funny. Especially if you play someone psychotic that sounds so cute and adorable. Like she was braiding the other prisoners' hair with flowers and made them look pretty because now we're friends. She was also annoying the prison guard to the point that he casted a silent sphere around her. So yeah, I just really like cute character moments that are just like fun. And to the last question. Let me scroll up again. Amy.
That's me.
If you could experience a TTRPG setting with all its powers, which one would you like to be in or make real?
Am I allowed to say the thirsty sword lesbians that we played with Sunny? Where I just get to be a tiny little fairy who screams at everything.
You don't even have to be your character. It's just like you take the setting and you make it one real in our world, or you just like get yeeted in and you get all the benefits of this TTRPG, like classes and stuff and skills.
I think I'm still gonna say thirsty sword lesbians, because any universe where a problem can be solved by being a lesbian is a good universe to be in.
A
Honorable
dramatic
mention to Glenna
lesbian.
Hearts, because
A
And if you
dramatic
can't solve it by being a lesbian, you can solve it with your sword.
Yeah.
exactly. Honorable mention, I think, goes to Glenna Hearts, because magical girl. I haven't mentioned Cardcaptor Sakura yet this talk show. In fact, I don't think I mentioned it last talk show. I'm on a streak.
You also didn't mention Nekopara. Damn, you're holding together. But I also didn't mention Genshin for most of the things.
What do you mean I didn't mention Nekopara? Did you miss the part where I was talking about being a lesbian?
Okay, Sunny. What would you like to be?
Well, the problem is any setting you pick is always going to be it's always going to have a problem, because it's like, it wouldn't be fun. Danger and threats, things.
You're cutting out my love.
Oh, well, one big problem with any setting is there's going to be big, dangerous monsters and threats. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a fun setting to play in.
Mm-hmm. But you also you get all the benefits of this thing too. So you also become a powerful hero. Or villain, depending on what you want to be.
Yeah, but the problem is anything close to modern is usually worse than the medieval ones. And I like toilet paper.
Yeah. I agree.
So,
Just pick a setting with magic, and then you can magic yourself some toilet paper.
So basically, it's the same answer we have to basically any question: Star Trek universe.
That's
Like, as long as you're not like on the Enterprise, you're set.
Yeah.
Just don't go up. Just don't boldly go where no one else has gone before. Stay home.
Enjoy life.
Eat food. Enjoy life. Eat from the replicator.
Yeah.
If I want any excitement, I just go into.
Where you going? You cut out perfectly there. You're going to.
Cut it out again. We've lost Sony.
We need to fix that. We've been cutting out a lot, and we don't like it. But yeah, if we want entertainment, holodeck. If I want to go run around the D&D world, holodeck. If I want experiences, the fun of the world,
You're cutting out again, Sunny. But I get your point. There are a bunch of many worlds that you can just visit to experience a little bit of it without being Enterprise member.
Just use a holodeck.
Holodeck. That was the thing that you cut out.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
What TTRPG world would you like to be in or make real? You get all the benefits from the TTRPG, like the classes, the swords, the abilities to use those things.
Honestly, Pathfinder has such a unique world and interesting setup to it that I'd go Pathfinder. Plus, it fixes one of my biggest fears, which is something that I don't know if we want to get sad or not in here, so I don't want to mention it, but it would fix a lot of the issues that I have with our current world. And I think that it would be a great place to be at for the most part. Up until one of the Rune Lords does something and, everything goes
Dragon gets petty.
goes under again. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Octavia.
Bunkers and badasses. What's better than the thirsty sword lesbians with guns?
I see your thirsty sword lesbians and raise you thirsty gun lesbians.
see your thirsty sword lesbians and raise you an AK-47 and the same lesbians.
Makes sense.
It really is just, you know, simple brain go Borderlands, but it's also D&D.
Is that the Tiny Tina Wonderland thing you guys all want me to play? Is that what this is about?
I mean, that's where it started.
Yeah, just so as a side note, like my friends, there was like end of last year, there was like this big sale where you could like get like a giant bundle for Borderlands, and one of my friends bought it and got like a couple games double, so he just gifted them to me, and then they collectively decided we want Maho to play Tiny Tina's Wonderland. We just finished Borderlands 2 main thing and the first like big side quest where we had like to do with Tiny Tina again. She's great, by the way. Absolute great character. I love her. Like, I know why people love her now.
This is a really big tangent, but I really, really, really want to like Wonderlands, but I have the same problems with Borderlands 3. Of just like, it really wants to grab your attention, and that's about it.
Yeah, so I haven't played Borderlands 3 yet. I have no clue. I just know that there's literally a clip of me online talking about violence and bloodshed and that you should always cause it, and then my friend saying, so this game is doing things to Maho. This is why my mom didn't let me play this game when I was younger.
I remember seeing it. It's funny.
Yeah, so if I'm a very kind-hearted and wholesome person, but if you give me a game where I'm supposed to, you know, shoot down tiny people and big people that are screaming at me, I will scream back at them. The only problem is, because I'm not good at insulting people, I slowly run out of insults that I haven't said yet. Like, I switched to German now too, and even now there are German insults I would never say, like, you know, like, I say the English version because the German version just sounds disgusting. So I run out of insults to scream at enemies. And snarky comebacks. I'm running out of them. So now I'm afraid of playing Borderlands 3 and not knowing what I should scream now.
Just do what I do and just say random BS. I will replace your liver with a sponge.
I maybe should do that now, because like I run out of like the, you know, like I was not trained for this. Like a boo-hoo! That you're not trained for this. You don't need training to die. Like, that was a good comeback I had.
You just gotta go full Krieg and just go, I'm gonna put my pain into your soul!
That's also something I could do, but I'm not good at screaming, and usually I stream at the evening and I have neighbors because I'm not rich enough to have a house yet.
I'm going to replace your blood with bullets.
Yeah.
I have the fortunate privilege of the people I live with tend to stay downstairs most of the time, and including falling asleep. And even though I am part of a duplex, the neighbor's half of the home is on the far end as possible. So I've got nothing to worry about.
That's cool. I definitely, just so you heard it, I will definitely do a Borderlands talk show, probably when Borderlands 4 dropped. I don't know if I have played it until then. I probably won't be able to afford it, but I would probably have played Borderlands 3 until then. So that is definitely something I will probably like tackle now that like I got bullied into playing it. But it's fun because I'm with friends.
Borderlands has some of the weirdest like lines that I've ever heard come out of some of the characters' mouths. Just stuff like, "I'll use your spine as a spice rack." It's like, excuse me? What do you mean by that?
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, I'm playing Grace. Was Grace? Amy, who am I playing right now? The robot girl.
Gage.
I'm playing Gage right now, and she has some so cool lines that sometimes I want to say a snarky comment, and then just Gage is saying something way cooler than I could cook up. I was like, yeah, what Gage said.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
what
50-50
Gage
chance
said.
of saying something really, really funny and snarky and well-witted, and anarchy forever!
Yeah.
It's
So
it's been fun. Unfortunately, I've gotta go.
yeah, I was about to answer.
Literally the last question. We're
Yeah,
just,
and I'm the last one to answer. This is the end. If
Oh,
you
yeah, go
have
ahead.
Okay, so for me, like, it doesn't really matter which system it is if it brings magic on the table. And I'm a chaotic person. I want the magic to come to me because, as Sunny said, I really like toilet paper. And also, if all the problems I have with real life right now would disappear if suddenly the government has to deal with a giant dragon and I have magic to play with. You know, like, all the troubles I would have would be dealt with because people would have to deal with them too now. So I would take any magic system, maybe not Monster of the Week, that's a bit too creepy for me. Maybe not Call of Cthulhu, that's even more creepy. But like Pathfinder, D&D, Glitter Heart, first these sword lesbians, I'm asexual, like I don't care as long as I get a sword and magic. So as long as I
magic and gods.
Yeah, like no, magic and guns. Like I'm more like when people have to think outside of gun ratio.
No,
but
gods.
Oh gods,
the magic
yeah.
and gods. That's why I was saying godbound.
Oh yeah, like
if magic like that, it's like you have magic and gods. Oh no.
Could be
I
fun.
have the power of God and anime on my side.
As like certified queen of anime, I fought for this title and I won. Yes, I would stream that. So yeah, I don't care which one, as long as it brings me a bunch of magic and bullshittery. I want to own a book that is called Magic Bullshit 101, and I want to learn magic from it. When I cannot get this book in real life, well, then something needs to change. People should finally figure out how magic works. Okay, and because people are getting tired and need to leave, I think I should call an end here. I think we did a good job.
I do want to say, just noting off what you just said, it's like that's literally just the Guilty Gear universe. People have magic.
Yeah.
And they have to deal with literal world-end calamities on a daily fucking basis.
Yeah. So, but before I let you all leave, I have to remind you of two things. One, in 2 weeks we have a Weebs Ramble About, but this is a special Weebs Ramble About, so I would highly recommend you checking in. We will spill some secret beans that you want to hear about. And the other thing is, the next week, in 2 weeks, the talk show is the last chance to apply to our Weebs quest, the Spark of Creation. If you ever wanted to create something, write a story, draw a picture, work with clay, work with Blender, build something in Minecraft, whatever it is, if you wanted to do something creative and you never really found the reason to do it or find the time to do it, now is the chance. Apply for it. Document your process with screenshots or photos or whatever you want to document it with, and then in 4 weeks share with us what you created and how the process was, what you learned, what you experienced, what hard times you had, what fun you had. It is just to enjoy something and try something new. If you're interested, please go to my Discord server or to any of my social medias like Blue Sky and Twitter. The application is pinned there. Apply. You have 4 weeks until this talk show to just do something you haven't done before, something you wanted to try and need an excuse to do it. Okay, and now thank you to everyone that watched, and thank you to all my beautiful guests again. Please check them all out. I don't know who of you are streaming, but the people that are streaming should shout out themselves now. For example, Sunny, you're streaming from time to time, and it maybe becomes more in the future.
Yes, we are Sunny Days with the S and the Y. There's another Sunny Days on here who just doesn't have the S. We stream on Twitch. We're kind of a variety streamer, but mostly we're trying to get back into TTRPGs.
Thank you, Amy. Yeah, that.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
I am Amy now.
You're Amy now. Amy. I think Sunny stole your name.
No,
Well,
you
that means
gave it
I
to
don't
me.
have to shout out myself. Sonny can do it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on, Amy,
no.
shout out your channel.
We are Amy Miranda. We run several TTRPGs. Currently, Maha, what's the current campaign we're running?
Pancake Island, the Dark Gods rules.
Yes, well, that is definitely what I am running. I am Amy Miranda. You can Amy Miranda on all platforms.
You did great. It is Amy Miranda on every platform. If there's an Amy Miranda on a platform, it's probably her. She's doing variety streaming with art, playing games, and TTRPG content. You should definitely check her out. She's a good DM, she's a good player, and she's a good artist. So you definitely
I don't know. I
miss
heard
out.
she got her identity stolen recently, and she's not really the same as she used to be.
Easy, Easy, are you streaming?
Yes, I do stream. Hi everybody, my name is Easy Mode Start. You can call me Easier Mode, don't get me started. But I do stream on twitch.tv/Easy Mode Start. I usually do I do a couple of things with friends a lot. We do everything from Throwback Thursdays, where we do like retro games, and soon I'm hoping to start setting up for a Pathfinder 2e situation. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to do a full campaign yet, or if the plan is to introduce people to the system by running a lot of little mini one-shots, maybe even the beginner box, and inviting people who've never played the game to give it a shot.
That's
We
really
have run the
cool.
beginner's box before. I can definitely recommend that. That is great
pretty
for new
good.
DMs and new players. It's just a really encompassing good tutorial for the game.
Yeah.
It is. I want them to make one for Starfinder when it comes out, which right now they've set up there's a dungeon in a box or whatever that's coming out, but it is not a beginner's box. They have confirmed it's not a beginner's box. So I'm hoping to get one for Starfinder. I also wouldn't mind a Starfinder beginner box that is updated with the new remaster rules, because I think the old one still has the old rules,
That would be really cool.
which most of them aren't too different, but still.
It would still be nice. Octavia, are you streaming?
I'm trying to. It's mostly just nerves.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Could
you
you
can do it.
could you DM in my, not DM? Could you just like say hi in my chat so I get your name shown so I shout out the right person?
Yo.
Thank you.
It me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my god, Octavia, you're not going to believe this. There's someone in chat with the exact same name as you.
I would never.
Shout yourself
Insane.
out. Shout yourself out, sweetheart.
Hi, I'm Octavia. I am a silly little gremlin. I play silly little games, like, legally. I totally don't rip at my run. No, I do actually rip. I actually do rip my CDs. I usually just play, like, some classical games. Like, I'm trying to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses, which, for those who don't remember what Dungeon Dice Monster is, it's like that.
You
but
have
like,
my commiseration.
Oh, the misery.
Side note, there is a Dungeon Dice Monsters GBA game.
There is.
It is hilarious because the speedrun for that is Spam Beaver Warrior. I am not
it really
kidding.
is.
That is the strongest fucking die in the game is Beaver Warrior.
It is. It's funny.
It's so
It's
good.
all, but for those who are interested in this stupid nonsense, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses is a funny little game where they took Dungeon Dice Monsters and said, hey, it'd be really cool if we also combined it with the card game, and I don't know why it was shit canned on Metacritic, but I think it's a really fun game.
My advice: zombie plants. refuse to get
yeah.
Pumpkin King, and just sit there while you get 9999 attack and defense.
Yes.
Wait, is that the Duelist Memories or whatever it is?
No, that's
Forbidden
Duelist
Memories is the
Forbidden
PS1
Memories.
one that
Yeah.
took the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh and stomped on them.
Guys,
Yeah.
Duelist Memory is a GBA game, I believe.
guys,
Yeah, I think
help!
it is. I'm thinking of
so
Forbidden Memories.
guys,
which
help! I'm
Forbidden
surrounded by
Memories is
nerds, and they talk about things I don't understand. I brought this upon myself, but please help me.
All right, Mara,
Okay.
let me just break it down for you real simple. You know how you don't understand how to play Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes.
Neither did anybody who made a PS1 or PS2 Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Ah,
that's
I
true.
see. Okay.
For-
If
Forbidden Memories is a choice, I'll tell you that.
Okay, okay.
Go
if
ahead.
if you are like Octavia and the rest of the group apparently that have a special interest in something and you just want to share your knowledge you gathered over the years of enjoying said topic, there is a Weebs Expert Edition you can always apply to. You find it in my Discord server in pinned messages in talk show information. If you have something you want to share with the world, just apply there. You can apply as many times as you want. It can take some time before you get picked, but you will eventually, we will come around and pick you with the topic of your choice. And you get like 2 to 4 hours to just tell us everything about it that you know. Okay. I'm Maho, I'm the host of today. Thank you everyone for watching. If you watch this on YouTube at the VOD or anything, and you actually found this, damn, you are cool. Like, follow, subscribe, you know, the typical things. I will
Get
upload,
wrecked, Twitch followers.
I will soon upload there some horror let's plays I did, so that will be fun. Maho being scared. And to everyone on Twitch, thank you so much for being always here for me. I really, really love you. I'm sorry that you cannot see on the overlay your chat. I will fix that in the next couple weeks. And until then, remember my little sparks. You're the reason I can shine, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon. And until then, I say bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye-bye!